claims that are pretty outlandish, but I can back them up. Boom. End of story. There is no other crypto out there, so don't get it twisted. If you don't understand where you're parking your money, you're going to pay the consequences for that, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Boom. We're obliterating everybody, literally. There is nobody else that comes close to what Hex has done. Boom. Oh, it's about to get funky. Funkier than you could have ever imagined. You know, Richard Hart is a boss. Hex is literally the best thing on the planet. It's simple mathematics. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Got my boy
Cloud to get funky. Cloud Wales only.
Yeah, just your average Cloud and Wales only on the check-in. Hope everybody's doing all right today on this fabulous Friday. I think I got the city working outside my window because they have nothing else to do, right? So if you hear a little background noise, that's what that is.
Well, if you don't have t-shirts, you have to work, you know.
Well, right. That's also true. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's funny because before I got t-shirts, man, I used to have to work real hard for money. Now I don't.
Right?
And I think it's because it changes the way you think about things, you know?
Dude, yes. You have to, like, all of a sudden, anything that you would see as risky, all of a sudden isn't risky. And so you can take way more risk. And most of the time it pays off.
Yeah, because it just gives you a different perspective, right? Because it's like you're looking at things not for right now, per se, right? But a little bit for later on, even though you know it is really for right now in your head.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like, well, you just look at things a little differently. You kind of pace yourself a little differently, right? You're not jumping at things like you probably were before, which is one thing that I've noticed.
Well, it's like Richard says, right? You actually gain some IQ points when you're rich, or when you don't have to worry about money. That's
right. Thanks for the super chat, Alan. It's simple math. He's a cloud. Oh man, too funny. But yo, can we talk about how we start with nothing and work our ways up to something? Because I think that's something that's pretty important. Because people, like, they'll look at you now because you're making all these videos, and they'll look at me because I know all the stuff I know, and they think, you know, that you're just born that way, and it just doesn't work that way. It requires work, it requires effort, it requires diligence, you know, it requires you to actually put in work. And I think that's something that's important to talk about because it kind of even relates to Hex, right? Because when you look at the rest of the promise coin space, they're promise coins, right? When it comes to Hex, it's actually a complete product. And the reason for that is because of the work that was put in prior to release, right? So it's kind of like all the same thing, interestingly enough. What say you? What do you think about that, just from a...
Well, now that you mention it, I'm trying to find a kind of like a way to relate that to the real world, because most of this world, or most of the people in Western society, they kind of just try to look like they're valuable, or they just put most time and effort into showing people that they're valuable, even though they're not necessarily valuable.
Right.
Like, just like all the promise coins, they all put money in marketing and they do all the social media stuff.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
a lot of rec plebs in this world are also doing exactly the same, and that's where it comes from. It's a direct reflection of society, I think. And I guess real recognizes real. If you put in the work yourself, you end up in the product that has been worked on a lot by the people that know what they're doing, I guess.
Well, it's kind of logical, right? When you think about it, it's kind of how the world works, right? Think about it like this: opposites attract to a certain extent, but the reality is that growth only comes from those that are additive, right? Those additive elements. So what do I mean? Well, think about it like this. Look at how quickly hexagons are able to get things done because they are all of the same frame of mind. And when you're all of the same frame of mind, taking action in a cohesive nature is not complicated, right? It's actually straightforward.
Hmm.
And in fact, it allows you to do things in light speed that you wouldn't even normally have thought was possible prior to, right? Like, look at how quickly, uh, anytime, just how about this? This is really simple. Anytime somebody in the hex community needs any help, I mean, you find out about it after it's already taken care of.
It's almost instant,
Yeah,
man.
right. And
Every
that's because everybody, I think, realizes that when people need help and they're able to help, they don't have a problem helping another person that they know would do the same for them, right? Because we're all of the same frame of mind. Makes
hmm
sense.
Yeah,
So I
it's
think, go ahead, go ahead.
well, again, if you relate that to the real world, everyone in society that's kind of like a rec pleb is kind of competing with other people,
Correct.
whereas the actual successful people see that competing doesn't really make sense if you can also collaborate and win more together.
Precisely.
And so that's also, people think I got into Hex because I saw the code and I was like, yay, this is the best thing ever. But actually, I got into Hex because I saw the community and I saw, hey, people are actually working here together, and I know the value of that. And then afterwards, I found out that, oh, the code is also really good. Like
That's
literally,
funny.
I saw the community, I was like, this is going somewhere. Whereas anywhere else where you look, it's like it's just a cash grab. In businesses or in promise coins or whatever, it's always just the community is there because there has to be a community to make money. Whereas the community here is here because everyone's already making money and everyone's just having fun. It's the other way around, and it's the abundance way instead of the way of lack, I guess.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I was 100% correct, man. Competition in its natural, in the way we naturally look at it, right? It's one versus another. It's who's better than the other. Um, and the reality is that no matter how good you are, right, there's always going to be somebody better than you. Um, hold on, guys.
Yeah. Um, it's one thing that I wanted to add, what I just said with the people that either competition or collaboration. Once you find those small concepts, or once you understand them,
Hmm.
you can see them literally anywhere in life. And because I was already aware of them, that's why I saw it in the Hex community. And every time you see that pattern, because it always reoccurs somewhere else in life,
Right.
once you understand what you're looking for, you see things, and then you get to positions where, for example, where I said, oh, this community is going somewhere, obviously, so let's just invest. And you get to these places where people would say it's luck, but it's actually experience.
Correct. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. And the funny thing is that you're extremely young, right? How old are you? Let the crowd know how old you
I'm
are.
24.
24 years old, folks. 24 years old. Now, you don't have to be 24 to understand that this is a powerful frame of thought, but you have to be alive and willing to pay attention in order to understand that that's a powerful frame of thought. It took me a long time. And the funny thing is, it's not really that it took me a long time to understand what you're saying. I'll say it took
Hmm.
me a long time to have the conviction and the confidence in that thought process, because the reality is that everything we're taught is false, right?
Yeah.
Everything we're taught is from the point of view that there is never enough to go around. That scarcity mindset, right? And the reality is that there is more than enough to go around. I mean, let's just talk about land for a second, and hear me out, because there's 8 billion plus people on this planet.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say is about to sound crazy, but think about it. 80 to 90% of the global population lives basically in boxes stacked on top of each other.
Yep.
Period. Fact, not fiction. Look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The globe. Now, what does that say? Well, what that says is that probably about maybe 2 to 5% of the Earth's land mass is actually being used.
Mm-hmm.
Something to think about. We have 80 to 90% of the population living on 2 to 5% of the Earth's land mass. Of course, there's going to be scarcity in that environment. I
Oh
mean, come
yeah,
on,
of course. Oh
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's
But
not
then
going to be hard
also
to
like
even fabricate this shit. It's like basic, right?
it's yeah, you can't think that this world is not created for abundance. Like stuff is everywhere.
Everywhere.
We just choose to live in scarcity a lot of times. I was actually it's interesting that you mentioned that. Yesterday I was walking in the city and I saw a homeless person laying under a bridge, and I was talking to someone I was walking with. I said, "It's so interesting to me that people choose to be homeless because you're actually choosing for it because
Yes, I almost went that route. Yes, you do
there,
choose it. You do
yeah,
choose it.
it's because there are jobs everywhere, and you could literally, if you can't live work in a job or whatever, you just go to a random farm and you work there and you get food and all that. Like there's so much more abundance outside of a city
Yeah,
where you
exactly.
can just dick
Exactly.
around and you can have food in abundance and you can just live a happy life.
Yep. 100%. It's funny. In my country, and your brother's actually living there, you see just that. And shout out to my boy Far Out. Smash the like button, or Alec Baldwin is gonna pay you
Who's
a visit.
Alec Baldwin?
Some actor.
Okay.
Uh, so recently, the guy shot somebody on set, and
Oh, what?
yeah, supposedly the gun was supposed to be a prop, but it wasn't.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what that's about.
Damn.
Too fucking funny, really. But anyways, what was I saying? Uh,
I don't know.
I
Wait.
lost my train of thought because that shit was funny.
Thanks for it, alien.
Yeah, bro, that was funny. Um, ah, so yeah, so we do choose to live in in a scarcity frame of thought, and the reason for that is because if you look at my country, it's exactly like you said. You'll have people that come from the countryside into the city thinking that there's going to be some magical money tree there that's going to allow them to cop or to purchase all of these useless material items. As you know, the reality is most people come into cities for convenience,
Uh huh.
right? They don't come into city like what they're thinking of as progress is not progress. Let's think about this. What they're thinking about progress is not actually progress. It is convenience. Why? Because
Yeah.
out in the countryside, you have everything already readily available that you need provided to you by the earth.
Yeah.
Well, of course, depending where you live. If you live in Afghanistan, might not be the case.
Well, and
So,
even then, you could build it that way. Like there's,
well, you could, right? You
but
could.
you need education for it.
Correct.
We've forgotten a lot of things.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Like, there's
sir.
a reason why there are still people there because obviously you can live there.
Correct. Yeah, you can. I've lived there. It's just being able to acquire
Could be hard.
sustainment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about how you set up your living
It's
situation.
like it's like when you start a game and you say, "No, I don't want a normal life. I want a hard one. I want to play this game on
Your
hard
life would
mode."
actually be easier, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it's yeah. If you just that's the funny thing. Like, there's now such a more and more people start to understand. Oh wait, this world is already in abundance, and I don't need whatever this society is trying to give me.
Correct.
And at least that's for me definitely the case. Like I'm starting to understand. Like, oh wait, yeah, I can have all these riches, but if I just learn how to grow this seed into a plant that gives me all the food that I ever need, it's way easier.
Right.
Like, you,
It is. I mean,
you can
look,
just get some food.
yeah, in my country is a great example, right? Because it's exactly, excuse me, that's exactly the point. In my country, you go into the city. Now, my country, food grows every fucking where. Now, once you get into the city, you lose, uh, um, um, what's the word? Arable land, right? Land in which
Oh
you
yeah.
can grow on, right? Because everything's cemented over. So, of course, it's going to be harder to find sustenance in that environment. And the funny thing is, it's really not even that hard. It's just a matter of being in the right place within the city. So even in the city in my country, right, you can literally find food and never have to pay for anything.
Uh huh.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally, right? Literally. Now, the difference is that once you step outside the city, you literally pay for food because you want to, because you could grow everything you want. Could. But people opt to go into cities where you can't have the land mass to grow stuff. Like if you don't own something, you don't have the land to grow. So you have to go elsewhere and be able to pluck,
Uh huh.
right? Pluck food from wherever it's being grown. Otherwise, you have no access to food and you have to pay for it. You come to a place like New York, that's not even an option. You got to pay for what you're going to eat. And that's it. There is no where to go pluck from
No, man.
at all, right? So this is by design,
If there is, there's it's probably toxic.
right? Because it's full of pesticides and all this other stuff, depending on where you're getting it from, right? So this is all about understanding, right? What the big picture is. How are you living in a society where the whole idea is that centralization is good and it's there to provide easier way of living, but in reality it's actually doing the opposite, right? That's the funny thing. The reality is that centralization makes things scarce by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Centralization is what puts us in this frame of thought that we can't have everything, even though everything is out there to be had. I mean, think about it. There are plenty of billionaires that have enough money that they don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
So clearly, having money isn't going to lead you to solving any material possession problems per se. Because that's the thing.
Not at all.
Most people come into cities to earn money, not because it's a great living situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really not because of the living situation. It's typically because of the money.
Which
So,
is, by the way, a great analogy of people go into crypto
yeah,
because of the money, not because it's such a fun to interact with MetaMask.
yeah, yeah, and we'll get there, right? Because that's the thing. Everything is related,
Yeah.
right? I mean, people like to think crypto is this make money thing, but it's not. It was created to get away from the dollar and the fiat system.
Yeah.
That's it. So you got to understand that, because if you don't, you're going to be disappointed, because this isn't about getting rich quick. I mean, there's other ways to do that, and
This
this ain't
yeah.
it.
This is yeah, exactly. And I talked with you about this yesterday in the green room of Wake Up Hacks,
Mm,
that I have a group chat with my onboards, and they started to talk about taxes and all that, and I had to bring out the big words, and and I had to give a speech about how we're not here to just get rich and then sit on our asses. We're here to actually change shit.
correct.
And a lot of people don't understand. Like, you get people that just want to get rich and that's it. But that's not the point, because if you're gonna get rich, but you still listen to the fucking mob that is controlling your life right
Doesn't
now,
even matter.
what are you gonna like? That doesn't. What are you gonna do for your kids or whatever? You know, you're not
Yeah,
change. We're here to make a difference in this world, and if you're not about that, go to another promise coin or whatever. Get out of here. Give me your money
pretty
and do
much.
something better with it.
I mean, here's the thing, right? The funny thing about Hex is that we don't have to worry about the money. We already know the money is coming because this is an actual cryptocurrency that works as designed. So we don't need like marketing and people to pump it and all of that. I mean, we've gone from 4 zeros or 5 zeros to 40 cents, 50 cents in 2 years. So that should be pretty obvious to whoever's watching. If it's not, you should probably go look at the chart, or maybe I'll show it later. We'll see.
But well, it's my feelings.
Yeah, good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you got to think. Thinking is what's going to save you when you don't know, because sometimes you're always going to be lied to. And
Mm,
notice what I just said. Sometimes you're always going to be lied to.
yeah.
Right? Because the reality is that in this system, everything is a lie. Nothing is designed to benefit you. If it was, then you wouldn't need to get rich. It would just be.
That's so true.
Duh.
If everything was designed for you to succeed, probably you would have in your street alone enough food to just live.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to do anything.
But it's also kind of, like everyone kind of forgot, and I, me too. Like, since I don't know, until like a year ago, or whatever, I never thought about growing my own food or whatever. But since I started to learn more about nature and this how this world works apart from this fucked up society,
Hmm.
like everything you learn from nature and um and plants and stuff like that,
Hmm.
everything you learn from that is a little bit of extra freedom that you're gaining.
Right.
People always talk about freedom and then they connect it to money, but actually money is a form of debt. And
Correct.
so you're not creating more freedom with money, you're creating more freedom with the knowledge that you gather and maybe the possibilities that you unlock by having money. But if you don't have money, you just go into a forest and you know exactly what to do to live a great life. And that's freedom, man. Like you can go anywhere from then on.
100%. And that's powerful, right?
Yeah,
I mean, because that is true freedom. That's giving you the ability to not be tied down by a thought process, right? That's kind of
yeah,
powerful because it allows you to make changes when changes are needed,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the key to life and success, right? It's not anything else. If, for example, if you're a schmuck and you keep making the same mistakes all the time, well, how do you ever expect to improve if you don't make any necessary changes? You can't, right?
Hmm.
You can't. That's just literally a fact. Um, so you have to endeavor to notice what the fuck is going on around you, right? Because if you're not, then what's gonna happen is that you're just gonna be there, and everything around you is gonna control you,
Basically, yeah.
and that doesn't lead to success. All that leads to is frustration, uh, not being able to see the bigger picture, not being able to make the right decisions, not being able to just see things that you need to see, right? And that's important because how else are you supposed to live if you can't make the right decisions? Like, where are you going?
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere, no matter what you want to think. You're just not.
That's why I like hexagons, because they're basically saying, well, I know that this world doesn't think like I do, but I'm probably right. So I'll just think my way and do my thing.
Yeah,
And then they just get better and better. And the more people come together, the more everyone kind of realizes, oh, wait, we're the smart people. And
correct.
kind of the money goes where it should go then. It's just to the hexagons, I guess.
Correct.
Because it's
Correct.
finally not controlled anymore because they can't.
Correct. Because it's decentralized for real in an actual cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard Hart.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of, how was it meeting him, man?
Yeah, man, I would have loved to go to Copenhagen, but I had this shitty job that that I recently got because I don't want to sell my hex.
Right. Of
But
course.
I met him in Zurich and in Amsterdam. It was great, man. The guy is just he's solid. Like you see him on stream and you listen to him and you at least we know that he's a guy with integrity and he's actually telling the truth and what he's thinking. on stream, but that's different from real life. And in real life, he does exactly the same but better. He's more because he can actually interact with people.
Right.
Like he's socially um, very intelligent, and he sees people, and he. That's the cool thing. He's one of the richest people alive, right?
Hmm.
But he interacts with people like he's just on the same level, and he is like
Well,
he's
he's just a
smart.
human, bro. So he should.
Well, exactly, but like you know that a lot of high profile individuals they got it into their head that they're better in ways, or that they don't have to interact with other people like they're the same or
Yeah, I
something.
get it. I get it. But the
And
reality is different, right? The
yeah,
reality
yeah,
is
yeah,
that they're just human beings. So
exactly,
no
yeah.
big deal.
So it's not the case, but it's
Hmm.
definitely a actually a refreshing thing to see someone with that high of a profile interact with other people like just humans. Like,
Right.
and it shouldn't be refreshing, but it is because it never really happens.
Yeah, I know it's sad, but
And
what are you gonna do?
but like once you see that in real life, you're like, how can anyone hate him on what he's doing right now? Like he's legit here helping everyone that wants to be helped.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
But
it's just that was just a
that's how
big
you know it, bro.
confirmation that I saw in real life. Kind of what you saw, I think, in when you were in Vegas. Like, ah, this is actually real. All right.
Right. Right. I mean, I think everybody came away from Vegas like that
Yeah.
because Vegas was like it was like a big test, right? Vegas was gonna let
Yeah.
everybody know who these people online really are. And I was talking about this with RG and Kinetics the other day. 'Cause I think this is really important. This is really crucial. I think the biggest difference between the Hexagon community and everywhere else is that the people behind the avatars are the people. Like that
Yeah.
social, that the textures you're reading is really what those people are. Like it's
Hmm.
not a facade. Most people are just lying. But when it comes to what you're reading from a hexagon on text, that's that real shit, and that's unique, right? Because you don't have a whole bunch of posers hiding behind avatars here. These are people that are actually showing you, hey, this is what I'm about,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
that's what
man.
they're really about. And Richard Hart is no different.
I want to mention something real quick.
Mm.
There's a guy in your chat that's a vegan trader. It says, but honestly, Hex is a Richard Hart fan club. And well,
I
I
don't think
mean,
so. I'm not.
no.
I'm not
Well,
anybody's
I get
fanboy,
I
so I
get his
disagree
point
with that.
because there are a lot there are a lot of Mexicans that are, but like I'm
Yeah,
just I'm
I
just here
don't
because
think
I
that's the
appreciate
case.
what's
I
happening here.
completely disagree with that notion,
Yeah. Like
and
if
I can
you
explain why in an intelligent manner instead of speaking like a moron like Mr. Vegan Trader there. Because you have to analyze why that is the case. I mean, you got to be an idiot not to understand why this motherfucker has fanboys,
yeah,
straight up. And disrespect, if you felt that way, then you should take it as such because you're not thinking, bro. This man is literally changing people's lives. Why the fuck shouldn't he have
it's literally
fanboys?
just credit goes where credit is due. Like that
Correct.
guy deserves credit, man.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I'm not a fanboy, but I respect what the man has done because he's changing lives and he's allowed me to take a step forward and be able to do the
Yeah.
same. And
In
everybody
the
that wants to. Shout out to Crypto King.
in Switzerland, I was talking with Holodog, and we told each other we have never been on a picture with anyone because of who that person is. But when we were with Richard, we are like, we definitely need to get on a picture with this guy.
Exactly. I've never done
And
that either.
again, it's not because he's Richard Hart. It's because what he has done for me and the people around me, and for the world. Like, man, he has done a lot of stuff for the Hexagons.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
insane. So
Exactly.
yeah, if I need to be a fanboy, sure.
I mean, but that's the thing. Nobody's a fanboy, bro. People
No, exactly.
appreciate what that man has done, which is two different things,
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, yeah,
right? Like, I don't see anybody else doing half of what this man is doing. So Richard can have all the fucking fanboy he wants.
I hope he gets a lot of fangirls though.
Right. I mean, that kind of. All right.
Yeah. I already hear, man. He just wants some more.
But you gotta realize, how much of a lapse in thought process you gotta have to not understand that.
Hmm.
Like, this man is literally altering people's frame of thought and allowing them to become better individuals. How in the fuck would he not have fanboys? He's actually a positive force on the planet.
You know how hard that is to do.
Do you
That's
know how hard it
really
is to
hard.
be? Shout out to Mazda Tomorrow. Did a stream with him a while back.
Nice.
Should be coming out. I think he said early November, so should be a good one. But
Ah, pre-recorded.
yeah, pre-recorded.
Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah. But just think about it, right? Like, how could you not respect an individual that is changing things for the better? That is not something that is seen. Period. Definitely not on TV.
Hmm.
And that's a fact. And there's a reason for that. I mean, they want you to think like this individual is thinking. Fanboys, yeah. And so what? This motherfucker should be, admired for what he's doing. He's out here bringing truth to power. Nobody else is doing that. He's out here allowing people to not be stuck in the rat race. Wow, who else is out here doing that?
Everyone
Who?
wants to catch you in their red race.
Exactly. Everybody wants to loop you in their trap. This man has created an outlet for freedom. Wake the fuck up. Wake
Wake the
the fuck
fuck
up.
up. D'Artagnan, don't give Will so much money, man.
Bro,
Every stream I
buy
listen from Will's, he's
Hex.
like, don't buy Hex, dude.
Buy Hex, bro. Stop giving me your money. Exactly. Especially in crypto. Like, come on. And yeah, in case you guys haven't noticed, that's game over for BTC. So hope you had a fun watching that ride.
Oh, whoa. I
Mm,
love it when shit breaks.
is there a difference between fanboys and fan club? I don't fucking think so, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. The word has a connotation behind it, whether it's boy, club, girl, doesn't matter, right? Everybody should be a fan of Richard Hart, is my point. This guy. Don't tell me what to do. Okay. Don't tell me what to do is what this one says.
Doesn't even have to type that shit.
All right, all right. Oh shit.
Nice.
That's funny. But I hope my point is being clear though. Like, everybody should be this man's fan.
Mm.
That's my point. He should have a fucking fan club. I'm
The
just
fact that
kidding.
he only has 100,000 followers
Is mind
on
boggling.
Twitter is it blows me away. Like how does that happen? And for everyone that's watching, like that means that there's still time to buy fucking Hex and a
Exactly.
shitload of it.
Yo, check this out. This shit kind of blew my mind yesterday when I sat there and realized it, because I just hadn't thought about it before. But yes, you're right. Because listen to this. As he was sitting there talking to the Copenhagen crowd, he was saying how he only has, like you just said, 100,000 followers,
Mm.
right? So he then started talking about people with millions of followers, and I'm like, how the hell does this motherfucker not have millions of followers? It's the wrong people that have millions of followers.
Yeah,
And that is a function of society and what it values currently, anyway. Because that clearly isn't going to stay that way. Can't. Can't.
it's interesting because collectively you see more and more people that start to understand that they need to learn some stuff, and
Right.
people actually want to see past the rat race and the 9 to 5 bullshit.
Well, you
People
know
actually
what's funny?
want to do stuff,
I think,
and
I
yeah,
think, I think there's a, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
no, bro,
I
no
think
problem.
there's a 50-50 divide. Some people just
Some,
want
yeah,
just want to be task bunnies and be happy being task bunnies, and that's okay. But I think for those people, there comes a point where they think they're happy that way, then they realize that they're not at some point in the future. because I highly doubt.
Can you repeat that?
Okay, so you
The
know how
last sentence. I
ah
kind of got distracted.
no, it's all good. So you know how some people just kind of like to just do menial tasks and get paid for it and not have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
think. Yeah,
yeah.
right. So I think everybody comes to a point where they realize that that's not really what they want and that's not really them.
Uh huh.
At least that's my opinion on that regard. Anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and the reason I think that is because, you know, the reality is a society isn't structured to basically reward people that are just task bunnies,
Yeah.
right? So because of that, you're kind of forced to think differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of
Yep.
forced to think differently. So with that, you know, it's an interesting bifurcation between one aspect and another because what's happening is that you're going from one reality to realizing that that is false, right? Which is what happened to me. This is why I can think about this and try to at least try to explain it because this is what happened to me. I used to, want to be a mechanic, and I was a mechanic and all of that stuff, and I know how to do all these, manual intensive things. And I used to be so upset because that's the hard work. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
that's the shit that keeps shit running. It's not what I do now.
Yeah.
What I do now is bullshit in comparison. If what I do now pales in comparison to what I used to do, because what I used to do allows me to do what I'm doing now. And what I mean is, if there isn't somebody providing the infrastructure for you to do what you need to do, like your home, the power, the water, electricity, gas, whatever, right? You can't do it.
Yeah.
And those people aren't really rewarded like they should be, in essence, right? Because the reality is, if it wouldn't be for them, you wouldn't have that office to
Yeah.
work that six-figure job from.
And well, you see it, and that's a great point because the things that actually matter, people are getting paid way too little for what they're doing. Like
Like
it,
sanitation,
yeah,
teachers.
just small. Yeah, exactly. Or farmers or just anything that you need on a daily basis to survive nowadays. Those people are getting scammed basically because their work is way more valuable than they're getting paid.
Correct.
And the funny thing is that nowadays, I don't know what it's like there, but over here, there's a massive problem in what's the word? The amount of people that want to work, or there's more job offers than people that can fill up
More
those.
open positions, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it has to do is that most things don't incentivize you enough to do it. Like if I look at a normal job, I'm like, what? I get paid $2,000 a month. Why would I ever do that? It's
Right.
hard work. Like why would I work 60 hours a week to earn between 2 and 3K? Like no, no,
Bro, when I
thank
was
you.
in the army, I probably made like $1 an hour at best.
Yeah, and you're basically just a slave then.
No bullshit.
But
Like
this is
probably
what
a
I'm.
dollar an hour.
This is an interesting thing to think about more. Like there's a lack of people that want to do the work, and so eventually you're gonna have a massive scarcity or a real problem. And the only thing that businesses will be able to do is to incentivize it more and make the work a lot better.
Hmm.
And the only way you're doing that is by more money, but also better working environments and actually going into helping people out instead of just do those tasks and then that's it. And the cool thing is that business is basically just a um, just a way to see how the world is going. Like it's a more
It
responsive
is.
system than governments,
It
but
is.
governments are going to be exactly the same as businesses now, where in IT industry where you have businesses that really want to make the workspace a lot more fun and attract more programmers because there's so few. Um, you can see that happening, and then in all the other businesses it should happen as well, because otherwise you won't have any employees. And for governments it's going to be exactly the same, because if your tax situation is fucked up, or your living situation of a country is messed up, then people are going to leave because they can now.
Yeah,
And
and they do.
soon enough you will have a lot of governments that, if they have interesting tax setups and actually want to help the people instead of helping the government, then people are going to go there, and that's probably going to be the next superpower.
It's interesting because I don't think there is a country out there like that that I can think of off the top of my head. Do you know of one? I don't think there is one.
Well, I mean, I'm not entirely educated on all the different ways of government in this world, but from what I've learned so far, there are not a lot. There's not a
Yeah, I
lot.
don't. I don't. Well, I'm. That's the thing. I'm pretty well versed, and I can't think of one that I'm like, yeah, I'll go there, like without there being some drawback.
No, but there's always, but that's because it's all still working on an old system, and that's what we're changing now. And so I
Right.
don't know exactly how it's going to look, but when we talk about Hexaco and all that stuff, like, once Hexicans have more money than the global amount of
GDP.
money available, yeah,
Yeah.
then what's stopping us from building our own country that does work for the people, you know?
Nothing.
And so, and we're already working on this. Like,
Yep.
people already have the skills, or working on the skills, to make stuff like that happen, like big things.
Yeah.
And
That is very
so,
true. I am one of those people.
I mean, just before the internet launched, people didn't know what internet was, and I wasn't even alive, so I have no idea. But like that's
They
what I'm
didn't know.
assuming, you know.
They didn't know. You're right.
So how would you ever, like, right now you can't speculate on what's going to happen in 10 years, because it's going to be so different, because this financial system is going to die. And even if Hex wouldn't be there, or crypto wouldn't be there, this financial system would die, because it's built to die.
Right. It is built to die.
And so,
Everything has a terminal endpoint in this type
yeah,
of
it
system.
has an expiration date. And so there's going to be something new, and nowadays people have the communication and the means to actually do something with the financial system being down.
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. And just to answer this question, land is part of the guns scenario, sir, because land is
I'll be right back, man.
yeah, no problem. Land is uh, an asset, right? It's a real life asset. If you have something that you can claim as yours and you can defend it, then you're good. Give me a second, guys. Shout out to my boy Marcos. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for joining me on this fine Friday morning over here on the East Coast. Hope you guys out there in Europe are doing great. No, it's like evening time over there or something like that, afternoon time. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on. You can already stake Hex on the Pulse chain Testnet. If you're not aware, just go to apphex.win in order to try that out. I mean, it's just like anything else. I did one last night, and you guys helped me out with this one because I just don't know if this is right or not. But when I did the stake, the ETH price was 78 cents to make the stake. Now, what I'm thinking is, given that the supply was increased by 10,000x, should we not divide the fee by 10,000 as well, making it, you know, nothing? I think that's correct, but I'm not really sure because 78 cents isn't a lot either. So I don't fucking know. Because it's supposed to, I'm putting it in PLS terms, right? So I just don't know. But it's fucking whacked out if it is that cheap. So we'll see. Shit's pretty freaking crazy. If so, because that's just bananas. Maybe I'll bring that up when Markable comes back because I definitely wanted to mention that one to him just in case maybe he knows. But yeah, you guys go on apex.win and you can of course, change your MetaMask network to from the Ethereum net to the Pulse Chain test net, and then you would proceed to be able to stake the equivalent amount of hex in your wallet over there. Yeah, like 50, right? But I think this is the latest iteration. Uh, yeah, but yeah, the Pulse Chain is gonna be a beast. So the interesting thing we've been thinking about. It's been a while, right? Nobody's been complaining about that shit for dumb long. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because the one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately with regards to Pulse Chain is, excuse me, when it comes time for people to end stake on the Ethereum network, they're gonna have a decision to make. And that decision is gonna be: do we restake on Ethereum or do we transfer over to Pulse Chain and restake over there? Now, if Pulse Chain doesn't help Ethereum's network, doesn't help their fees go down to a reasonable level, um, I'm gonna go on ahead and say people are just gonna go and. Hey, Marco, were you back, bro?
Yo.
Check this out. So I was telling the crowd how last night I did a stake on Pulse Chain Testnet, right? You can go
Oh,
to
nice.
Apex, yeah, you can go to apex.win and test that out if you haven't yet. And it cost me 78 cents in ETH terms to make the stake. Now,
Oh.
let me ask you this. If that's an ETH, shouldn't we divide by 10,000 to get the PLS price in dollar terms?
Um. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Base. Well, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so cheap. I don't even
You
know.
know. Uh, yeah. So kind of that would be an easy way to talk about it. But again, like you constantly say, like there's no way to know the price. So yes.
Well, that's why I'm just dividing the price of ETH by
Yeah, by the
10,000,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
exactly. So I think that would be a good way to think
yeah,
about
that's
it. Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yep, for sure. And I was actually interesting. I had a conversation. Nowadays, I'm the cryptocurrency and blockchain expert around the
Around
people
your
that I know
parts,
because
yeah.
they know no one else. And I'm like, you have no idea how little I know compared to some people. But all right. And so I had this conversation with a guy that had an idea for an app, and he wanted to connect that to a cryptocurrency. And I told him, dude, whatever you're doing, I wouldn't necessarily start a new coin because it's pretty hard. But if you're going to build a system, do it on Pulse Chain because your system will not work on Ethereum. And it was true. Like, there's no way he can do transactions on Ethereum because it's going to be way too expensive.
Yep. I
And
mean,
Pulse Chain is
imagine.
going to be so amazing because there are so many things that need to be built but can't be built because it's not profitable and not sustainable because of Ethereum fees.
Right. I mean, you got to think about it, right? Why should you have to pay $20 for a dollar transaction?
Yeah.
I mean, what else needs to be said?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I got actually friends that didn't like hacks, and I shoved it in their faces when I got all the gains. But like, um, they are in Pulse Chain even without me telling them. They knew about Pulse Chain,
How
and they
about
were
that?
like, "Yep, this is a real deal." And so, people that hate hacks are in Pulse.
Good for
Big
them.
deal.
Good for them. Good for them.
But because it's such an obvious play,
Yeah, obviously. I don't know why
like
it's not obvious, but yes, obviously.
Hex was kind of a risky thing way in the beginning, right?
I
But
don't think it was.
well, I mean, with the knowledge that everyone had back then, like
I mean,
if you,
maybe for everyone else, but not for me.
well, you jumped in later as well, so
But no, I knew nothing when I jumped in. I
yeah,
just knew
okay,
the
true.
concept. You know what I'm saying? Based on concept, which was a level of knowledge that everybody else basically had.
Yeah, all right, but like just for a normal pleb like me,
Well,
I
yes, I
wouldn't have any
understand.
idea,
Yeah,
and then also there wouldn't be enough content to figure it out, and then
right.
also, um, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that Hex was pretty risky at the beginning, maybe, but like Pulse Chain, there's so much content and there's so much stuff going on that it's such an easy win.
Yep.
It's
For
crazy.
example.
It's kind of like buying Hex in the beginning while all the content was already there to figure out how good it is.
Right, right. So Crypto King, it just uses the hex you already have in your wallet. So there's no more pulse. There's not like no hex on pulse. There's like no faucet or nothing. It's just whatever's in your wallet is what it
Are you
uses.
saying that you still have liquid Hex, Wells?
I have like 28 liquid hex.
Nah.
Yeah, it's like $7 worth.
I thought I could trust you, man.
So yeah.
But apparently you don't have 100% stake. Now you're not a real Hexagon.
Bro, what's your duration?
15 years.
You're lying.
I know you're beating me with that, man.
I love to be people over my
Yeah,
duration.
yeah, yeah.
That is correct, sir. Oh man, too funny,
Yeah.
bro. Wow,
Remember Wales's name. In 14 years, you're gonna look up to him.
man, it's
He's
funny,
gonna be
dude.
Will number one,
It's funny
and
because
that's where the name comes from, guys.
no, it's funny because the reason I picked Hex is because I understood the math behind it before I even started talking about it. Like I understood this was gonna make people rich, so that's why I use the name Whales Only because Hex is gonna make Whales Only, literally.
Yo, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Literally. And I mean, we're already seeing it on the HexFlex hashtag, right? Like you got guys buying Lambo trucks and shit, fucking
crazy,
Maseratis, just all kinds of crazy shit. You know
crazy.
what I mean? So
I always think about how much taxes they have paid on that.
yeah, man, it's gonna be wild. I mean, we're working on a solution for that. We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
it Monday. Me, RG, and Kinetics. We're gonna stream on it, just to explain to the community how it's gonna work and stuff like that. Because this is a solution that we need. Because the reason it doesn't exist is because no other crypto folks have needed it. They're broke, right? So we actually are making gains, so we need it. Um,
yep.
my duration is 14.6 years for those that are curious.
That's
But
the
you
real hex flex, man.
right, exactly,
Damn,
exactly,
dude,
yeah,
14.6 years.
exactly. I smile every time I
That's
say
more than
it.
half. That's more than half of my life, bro.
I smile every time I say it, yo, because I'm gonna be so fucking baller. It's gonna be crazy. I'm 100% sure Hex is gonna be collateral by then. I'm never gonna have to
Oh,
sell no
easy,
Hex.
man, easy.
I'm never gonna
Um,
have to sell any Hex
yeah,
ever, ever. I'm staking all my shit 555.
I'm actually thinking about that a few times over the last months. Like, there's really no reason why you wouldn't stake it for 5555 because it will be collateral anyways.
100%,
Like, we
100%.
already know that's coming.
Yeah, there's not gonna be a choice, yo. There's nothing that is good as Hex. Period.
Yeah, good
Just
point.
nothing. Yeah, there's just nothing. And it's just a fact. It's not an opinion. Just look at the chart. Look at everything else. Look at my correlation stream so you can see how Hex is literally decorrelated from every single thing. It's crazy. It's freaking insane, bro. It's insane. I mean, yo, once
People
Pulse
don't
Chain drops,
realize,
it's
I
gonna be
think,
crazy.
how big of advantage um, collateral stakes are. Like using stakes as collateral, you can literally do anything in this world by just earning interest.
What
Like
up, Maddie?
you can have yourself earn interest, and then you can build a house with
Hmm.
the value of that stake without selling it.
Yep.
How amazing is that? Like, you can harvest the interest that you got in 15 years and pay off your entire loan probably in what you just built a house for. Now,
Yep.
that's ridiculous.
Game changer.
What's up, DJ Cryptomatic? Welcome to the hood, brother.
You stupid. Hey, you want? I'll send him a link. See if he wants to jump on.
Yeah, do it.
Hold on. Sorry for almost dying there, folks, but I got that gas, as they say.
Yeah, I love doing these streams, man. It's just every time, just get
Just
a
fun
smile on
stuff,
my
bro.
face. It's good shit.
Yeah, it's just good stuff, man.
It's helping out some people. It's it's also interesting. You see the people in these live streams, and these are really the people that want to learn. But like
Right.
when I send educational stuff to people in real life, they don't care. Like they,
Yeah, nah, people
you
really
can
don't.
tell them watch this stream of 2 hours because it will change your life. They will not watch.
Nah, they won't. I
And
don't know what it is,
how
bro.
idiotic is that? The guy that has earned more gains than those people would ever see in their lives if they wouldn't be in Hex. You're not listening to that guy because you think your opinion of whatever or your laziness actually is valid or whatever. It's so
Superior.
weird, man.
Yeah,
It's
that is.
so weird.
Yeah, it is.
Like
You
I
know,
actually
it's.
make it a thing to learn from people that have more wealth than I do, but a lot of people don't.
You know what it is. I try to make it a thing to learn from everyone, not just people with more perceived wealth. Because the thing is that you just never know who's gonna know something that you don't know that's gonna be of extreme value to you. You know what I
Mm,
mean? That's just something. It's critical, man. Because how do we know? How do we know anything? We know what we know based on what others have done in the past and what we are learning from our own experiences to boot, right?
yeah.
So you got to really sit there and think about like how everybody wins, right? Everybody wins by just being an average cloud. But you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I'm just a cloud man.
you gotta sit there and really think about what you're being sold, because a lot of what you think isn't even your own thought.
Mm,
It's not. So that's why things change in your head over time. You
yeah.
see, because with what you're given, your perceived reality changes.
That's why it's a good thing that we as Hexicans have our own music, our own live streams, our own everything. Because if you think, I've been thinking about this a lot of times, like, are the thoughts that you have actually your thoughts? Because let's say you have a certain playlist of music in your on your phone, and you listen to that every single day, and the phone is just filled with music talking about sex, drugs, and whatever. Then you're not just listening to lyrics, you are repeating the same lyrics in your head with your own voice. You're constantly just talking to yourself about sex, drugs, and whatever. And that's a bad thing because you don't think it influences your thinking, you don't think it influences your life, but actually
It does.
it does, like 80% of your life.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
so
crazy.
that's the cool thing about listening to Hex live streams, for example. You just constantly repeat to yourself how abundant you live, and all of a sudden your life improves whether you have Hex or not.
Correct. I mean, I think I found Hex because my life had improved so much.
Yeah,
If not,
it's
I
not
would have
luck, man.
never, yeah, I would have never had the frame of thought to put myself in a position to come across it. Never. Because I didn't find Hex. Hex found me. But I had to put myself in that position.
Yeah,
Otherwise it would have never happened. Like I had to been doing what I was doing at the time in order to have had ever found Hex, because otherwise I would have been doing the same old shit. Trading futures. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
yeah.
I wasn't doing anything else. Like that's just all my life had been for fucking 10 years up,
And it would
you
be
know.
interesting to learn from other people in the Hex community to see what they had before Hex, because I know for myself that I really consciously, like 4 or 3 years, yeah, 4 years ago, I really consciously made a decision. From now on, I do everything in abundance. So I give people my clients, I ask them for more money because I know they can handle that. I give my the people that I pay, I give them more than they ask. Um, and basically just all that, you just give more because there's
Yeah.
abundance. And
Yeah.
I think because I started to give more, I
Start to
started
get
to
more.
understand the abundance mindset, and then I got into Hex in that way. It's not I found
Ah,
Hex and that's it, but I could
interesting.
understand how an abundance
And look at you
system
now.
actually can work.
Right. Look at you now.
Yeah.
All in the mix.
And so at the beginning it was really stupid for myself that, like, it's that thing, like, you only get into the position of wealth if you already think you're wealthy, or you act like you're wealthy. And at the beginning it's really stupid because you're not wealthy,
Right.
but you're acting like it.
Right.
But once you start to really um, get the habit going, once you are wealthy, you start to understand, oh wait, I don't even have to need money to be wealthy. It is also an emotional state. And then you understand, oh wait, so if I do this, then my whole life is always wealthy. It doesn't really matter what happens. And then you
Right.
kind of hack life, and then stuff like this comes on your path and you know what to do. It's really interesting how it's also not really, you can't really explain it with words
Right.
well. It's more of a feeling, but this is the way you would explain it, I think.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of true. You have to put it out there in order to receive it,
Yeah.
right? And if you're not like, that's kind of like what I was trying to say earlier. Is like we all have these thoughts, right? Like as a Hexican, we're just different based on the fact that we are Hexican because we found it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So what that means is you didn't need some person to tell you about something in order to find it. You just found it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's different. So the difference there is that you took the time out. You know what I mean? That's big difference. So when you sit there and take that into account, things are going to look different to you versus everyone else.
Hmm.
Right? So you can wrap your head around things, and at least you should be able to wrap around your
Yeah.
head around things in a different manner, just based on that sole fact alone. Right? Like that's one of the things that allowed me to even start streaming because I already understood that about the Mexican community already. Because that's the only way. How else do you find something like this that's hidden? Because it's hidden.
Oh yeah.
It's hidden. No doubt about it.
You don't just randomly find this.
Nah, you don't. So it's a powerful thing. I think that that's what also makes us more powerful when we work together. Because
Yeah.
we just, I mean, man, when we're on the same mission, we get that shit done in 2.5 seconds.
It's beautiful then.
It's crazy. I
And
never
what
seen
I
anything like
also, why this is also so important, these streams and just the people coming together, is because I notice in my life, like, everyone always constantly doubts me, constantly. Like, even now that I have results to back up my claims of that I know better, even now people still doubt me constantly. And I just have to, uh, I just look at the people and I say, well, I'm gonna show you anyways. And now I have that confidence. But at the beginning, when I started to understand, oh wait, I actually do know better, it's really hard to stand your ground because you think you know better, but you have no idea if you're really right.
that.
But
Right.
once you start to figure out all these things where you were right, you start to understand that a lot of people are really stupid. And the stupider the people are, the harder they're gonna shout that you're stupid.
Pretty much.
But if we have a community here that kind of confirms everything with not feelings but facts and statistics, and well, it's kind of like we can stand someone else's ground at the beginning of their development or something.
Right. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because, and let me just take a second off of this comment. This is
Yep.
yeah, most Mexicans are not utilizing that. I'm pretty sure of it because why would they? Most people are trying to get out of the system, not run right back into it. But point made. There are companies that do offer this kind of service. I'm not sure about any of them. I'm not utilizing that strategy, but it would be good if you wanted to, I guess. But yeah, yeah, you would hold your keys too, of course.
Retirement is a joke.
Yeah, yeah, the word and the connotation, yeah, it's a joke. But yeah, again, like the thing about it is the
You muted yourself, dude.
sure did. Um, so the thing about it is, I feel like it brings me back to the scarcity mindset. It's just everything revolves around that.
Yeah,
It's like everything isn't in limited quantity. Is that we treat it like it is.
yeah, 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 for sure. And
Even in this aspect, interestingly enough, it's just funny like that.
mm,
It's
I
like,
noticed even before Hex, I started to understand that mindset, and I applied it in my business,
mm,
where I would just pay people more just for fun, and also ask more money because I knew people would pay it anyways, and not feel bad about it because there's enough money going around anyways.
right,
And people would just come back constantly to me, and clients would become friends just because it's more fun to work with me than the other dipshit on the corner.
right, right.
And it's
'Cause
with
they're just
everything
trying to
like that,
be,
man.
yeah. There's a difference between being personable and just being transactional,
Yeah, yeah.
basically. You know,
And the old way of doing business, or the old way of communicating with people, is really transactional.
yeah,
Like when I say old way, it's like the 20th century kind of way.
right,
And a lot of people are still lacking behind because that's the way they always thought it would be. And it's again the same with the jobs problem and the like the working environment problem nowadays.
hmm,
A lot of CEOs and a lot of business people, they still think everything's transactional, but it's not, because we're dealing with humans. And so
correct,
if I would start a company and I would make everything really cool for people, and people would earn a lot of money, and people would have a really cool place to be, like an actual community, then there's no way people are going to leave that company, because they know there's no other better place. They will actually onboard people into the company.
right.
And so you will never have that problem. It will cost you more, but long term it's going to be way better.
Well,
And
the
yeah,
more you put in, the more you get out, right?
exactly. Yeah.
so, so it would be money well spent. Because if you got more, so here's a funny thing, right? We were talking about this yesterday actually, how to look at things. Remember, and how I was telling you that the inputs are what
Oh yeah.
generate the outputs and all of that. Yeah, this brings us right back to that because it's very important. Um, and I know I say this a lot, but it's true. Um, the things that yield a result are it's like baking a cake. You got to put all these ingredients together, mix them all up, and then you get the cake, right? It's not like the cake just comes because you just thought of it. You got to put all the stuff together, and then you get the cake. And it's the same thing here, right? Like all the decisions you make in life take you from A to B to C to D to E to F and so on, right? And that's something that's hard for people to realize, but that's life. So life is almost like a formula itself, right? And you have to realize that what you put into life is what you get out of life, literally. So if you're just living like everyone else, well, your life is going to be like everybody else's, and it's not a fun one. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody doesn't live good, man. Like a lot of people just, yeah, they need help. So
Hmm.
you got to really be out here thinking for yourself. Don't be out here, following influencers and stuff like that. Like even me, right? Like I don't tell you what to do. I tell you where to find information. Straight up. You don't ever hear me tell you what to do. I'm not that person. I tell you this is what I found. This is why. And here, this is where you can go verify it. Or this is what
Hmm.
you can do to verify it. Because that's what's important. Not just that I'm saying it. because of course I'm seeing it, right? Like if I'm seeing it, it must be happening. I'm not blind. So so it's just about pointing somebody in that direction and done. That's all. I mean, think about it. Every time, like, it's like we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. You started with knowing nothing when it came to what you're doing now, and now you're a fucking pro, right? That
Hmm.
that came from putting in hours and hours and hours of work.
Yeah,
Period. So didn't come from
and,
nowhere.
and a lot of headache, people.
Yeah, 100%, baby, 100%. Because nothing comes from nothing,
Yeah,
right? Nothing comes from nothing. That's a fact.
it's interesting that a friend of mine, he was like last year, he told me he was depressed and well, blah blah blah, not a great position he was in. And then I started just to talk with him because looked up to me of the things that I was doing and the things I was achieving.
Hmm.
And I told him, dude, you can do the same. I'm not doing anything particular.
Special.
I'm not even
Yeah.
working that hard. I'm just doing things.
Right.
And I started talking with him. I said, "What do you like?" And he said, "Oh, maybe I like to edit videos as well." I told him, "Okay, so go do it." And he said, "Yeah," but then he started to go into this whole frame of what happens if I don't like it, or it goes wrong for some reason. And that's a
Right.
stupid question because when does something go wrong?
Right.
It doesn't.
Always.
Once you start to think about how when things goes wrong, most of the time there's no scenario where it actually goes wrong. It's just you don't do it.
Right. That's a fact.
And if let's say you do something and then you get to the point where you think, oh, I don't like it anymore, then you have a skill all of a sudden that you didn't have before and you can use it somewhere else. That thought process.
Correct. Correct.
Sup, Maddie?
What up, Maddie?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well, brother. Nice vehicle behind you.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I was just gonna open the door and see if it still goes up instead of out.
Nice.
Yes, this is a real car.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
If Peter is watching this, he will be proud.
Yeah,
Other
this is
cars,
gangster.
it's only a car if the doors go up.
Boom. Look at that beautiful body, man.
Let's go.
Jeez, that stainless steel looks amazing, man.
It
Will,
does,
put him
doesn't
on
it?
full screen, man. You can highlight him.
Yeah, let's do that.
So the trunk is actually in the front. Underneath the front head is where the
Oh,
trunk
what?
Nice.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It doesn't look like the back is the engine, but apparently.
No, it doesn't, does it?
Nice. Spacious too.
Yeah. Well,
What does the
Dan
what does
had
the
like
license
a lot
plate
of
say?
international luggage, so we had to like put it behind our
Oh,
heads.
Dan's with you? That's what's up.
Different Dan, but the
Ah.
one who started Crypto Sparbuck with Alan and Patrick.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I could have actually filmed you driving this instead of having to 3D model it for the Wake Up Hex intro?
Oh, are you the one that made that?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I bought the car 2 days before that. So like those were two independent thoughts, I think.
Wow.
Wait, 2 days before what?
Before you
Before
released
I
the
saw that
video?
come out on Discord.
Oh,
Syndicate.
what?
Oh,
All right.
wow.
Sick. Well,
That's so
I had
funny.
been working on that for 1.5 months before that.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So it was obviously like
Basically.
independent thinking that led to
That's cool.
everybody thinking, DeLorean, it's a good symbol of
Yep.
paying
Oh,
your
yep.
future self.
Yeah,
Hex.
it is.
For sure.
It is. It's great, dude. I mean, that car is so. Anybody that knows cars understands. How much of a beacon that vehicle is. Seriously, it's something.
Yeah.
It's something to behold, and for it to be in that condition, like, of course, a Mexican owns that.
Hell yeah, dude. Man, it's in such good condition. Like most
Yeah.
40-year-old cars, you can't drive on the interstate. You can't drive them long distances.
Can I time travel with that to the first day of Hex? I'll do the second day. The first day was kind of messed up.
How do you think I got here? I was later than all of you to Hex. I didn't get in until day 5,000. Then I went into the future farther where I could afford the DeLorean, and then I came back. It's been a whole journey.
What price is Hex at day 5,000?
5,000. It's
Damn,
yeah.
that's
I
so
mean,
far from
it's
now. Wow.
in J
That's
5,000.
year 14 or so.
Yeah.
Year 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I could tell you, but then I would have to drive you to the future and show you, and you wouldn't believe me. So
Good
I'm gonna
answer,
save the
man. Good
gas.
answer. Not time travel advice.
That is funny, yo. That is funny. Oh my god. Damn, that thing is something. It's just sick. All right, let's get back to the conversation because I'm over here just acting like a little kid. All right. So what were we talking about? Because I completely forgot. Let's talk about posting.
Yeah.
Uh, everybody's just finishing work or at work. All right. Shout out to you Europeans with your work schedule.
Yeah, it's like 6 p.m. now.
Yeah. I forget they work late over there.
Huddle Dog, why do you still work, dude?
Yeah, he's an
I kept
enigma.
on asking him, man.
He's an enigma. I think he works for fun.
Yeah.
I think he just likes to work.
Well, work gives people structure and meaning, right? So
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think some
That's
people
what my
just like
dad
to
keeps
work.
telling me.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't need it, but I get it. You know.
That's a good point. Because Huddle Dog is the shit. Look at his comment.
Because I'm
he is
the
the
shit.
shit.
He's definitely the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the shit. Learned a lot from them, from him and Hex. So I learned a lot because they were the main. Oh, and Coffee, they were the main guys back in the day, stream wise. It was funny when I first started streaming. It was weird because there weren't that many streamers, but when I wanted to stream, there was people streaming already. You know, like there was a lot of people streaming at that time. Miley, if you want to jump on, let me know, brother. I'll send you the link. Matter of fact, I'll just send it to you
Yeah,
anyway.
jump on, man.
Jump on if you want.
Yeah,
Oi,
well,
Kool-Aid. Come chill out, man. Come.
Kool-Aid loves to work. I don't know if he'll come on, but I'll send him the link too. But yeah,
Yeah, Pulse Chain.
it's post chain is gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be so crazy. Like, Maddie, have you done a test stake on the
I haven't
post?
done it yet.
So I did
I
one
heard you
yesterday.
talking earlier today on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
stream about how you did it. How'd it
yeah.
go?
It was easy peasy. 6 seconds. Done.
Dang. Oh man, this is gonna be such a game changer. Imagine everything in crypto
What did you
working
say?
again, and then people
6 seconds?
realizing it's honest.
Yeah. What'd you say, Markham?
Did you say 6 seconds?
Yeah, 6 seconds.
Nice.
Click, and
Nice.
then 6 seconds, it was staked. Official. I
Huddle Dog
mean,
is a wreck pleb. He says he emergency end staked all his stakes on testnet. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But thank you. But thank you for your service.
yeah, thank you for your service.
That's really funny.
Welcome to the hood, brother.
Oh,
Welcome
too
to day
funny.
666 of my testnet journey. Today I emergency end staked all of my stakes. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny. Yeah, average block time is 4.5 seconds. It's crazy, dude.
How does that go? How does that go up? How does that work?
What do you
Because it
mean?
was 3, right? No.
It's variable.
It's variable.
Yeah, but like, what does it make it go up or down?
3 to 6.
How
3 to 6 seconds.
how fast a block is put together by data packets and stuff.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I
you
don't
don't
know.
want to. The reason you can't go faster is because you don't want to orphan too many blocks, right? So
Yeah,
orphaning a block
yeah.
is when it
Goes
when
empty.
you start building two chains with separate people, and then the entire system has to agree on which chain is real, right? So it's a function of chance, but also a function of how quick the latency is to put together all the data and then make sure that all the transactions are still going to be valid, because it really sucks when you have orphaned blocks. That's kind of one of the hard problems that the crypto space has run into ever, right, is this problem. Do you want to make it more secure? Do you want to make it more fast? Or, you know, do you want to avoid all these barriers that keep happening?
I mean, 3 to 6 seconds is really fast. It's good enough.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's good
4
enough.
times faster is perfect.
I mean,
yeah, I just wondered what the reason is, what makes the variable.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
So the way I think of that is, I think of it as, well, you don't want to push out so many empty blocks anyway.
That's true too. Yeah.
You want the blocks to actually get loaded up so that the network is actually being used. So that's the way I view it. Because then you just got a whole bunch of what Maddie was talking about after that. And it's like, well, what chain do you choose? Right? Which block is the right block? Ah, Mr. Peter.
No, but
Do you see the car,
right?
Peter? Peter, do you see the car? This is an actual car. The doors go up.
It's my background.
I see the car.
It's a green screen.
Maybe I don't believe that's a background. You have to go and knock on it, please.
Well done, man. So, Maddie, can you go in and make sound?
Yeah, let me grab the keys from upstairs. I'll be right back.
Make sure to open the garage door, please, sir.
Yeah, don't kill yourself. Please don't.
Okay.
We need you.
Yes, I still want to go to Vegas in March. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Not just for Vegas, dude.
Only for Vegas. After that, you can do whatever you want.
That's rough.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it's a great looking car, man. I mean, look at that. I think
and the doors go up like this. It's
let's put this in solo view again. I mean, this is just beautiful, bro. I mean, damn. Look at that.
Just for the people watching that haven't watched Wake Up Hex, Peter only sees cars as cars when the doors go up. If the doors go sideways, it's not a car. It
doesn't exist.
It's not a car.
I mean, it's a normal car, you know. Like, if the doors don't go up like that, or any special way, it's nah.
There are also these cars that go up more like up and to the right. I like those, man. Where they go diagonal. Like, I think Lamborghini has that.
Yeah, I think Aston doors open up like suicide, kind of like butterflies. I think that's how those open up. I gotta check. I don't remember.
I want the car that goes up and to the right.
Let's see.
Park your Lambo
since
the
we're
right way.
since we're Hexicans, we can have everything we want.
Yeah, I'll let you know right now if this Austin DBS is one of them. That's what I plan to get. Yeah.
Maddie, don't forget that you're muted. That would be funny.
Yeah, it would.
Someone asked if you already named the car, Maddie.
555 Mobile.
So you guys heard what happened with the 555, right?
No.
No.
So I was driving here to St. Louis to join the 5555 tour. And the car went over 5,555 miles for the first time.
Yes.
So I pulled over and staked 5,555 hex for 5,555 days.
Sick.
That's a lot.
Nice.
You know?
Let's go, man.
Nice.
Let's go.
Hilarious too.
We love that.
That DBS is so nasty.
That's 4 times 5555, which is also consists of 4 times 5555.
Which is
That's
also
cool.
555. Sounds really good.
Nice.
Give it some extra gas.
Honk, please honk.
Honk.
Oh, yeah, fucking stupid.
Maddie, honk it. Honk it.
Oh, here.
We want to hear the honk.
Windshield wiper is the horn.
Hey, let's go.
Bitcoin's about to go to 59,000 handle. Good times.
I hope Bitcoin goes to 5555555.
I think it will be going there. Don't worry.
Ooh, space machine.
That's exactly how I made the interior on the video.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I tried.
There's the miles.
Pretty sick, man. Pretty
That's
sick.
really cool, man.
It's just
Oh, when
missing
you close the doors, that's kind of cool.
You're just missing the flux capacitor, and then you're squared away. Oh shit!
Now I feel like Maddie's girlfriend.
We all feel like that.
I do not, but you guys will.
That's okay. There can only be one.
Right.
Now,
Dude, that line in the middle is so sick, man, of the window. I like that.
Please time travel right now.
Yeah, this is one of the best HEX flex there is.
Oh yeah, that's a sexy fucker right there.
No custom license plate?
There is a sticker missing. Kiss my hex.
Yeah, I should have the sticker Kiss My Hex. Actually, I should go to Sticker Guy and let him make one. That would be a good sticker for people's cars.
Be a good plate too. Kiss my hex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be right back, guys.
Yep.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, this is turned into a car show. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, this is a hex show.
This is turned into a freaking car show.
It's a time deposit, people.
Well, it is related, so it makes sense.
Of course. This is not any car. This is a hex car for sure.
That's right. Yeah, it's pretty gangster.
What
man.
is the cost of a DeLorean? Maybe I should Google it.
Dude, do you want to know?
Yes.
Do you really want to
Please.
know?
Yeah.
Okay, this one is top 5% best preserved in the world. It was $80,000 only.
That's
Cheap.
not cheap.
Cheap, sure.
I mean, like any other, like a Lamborghini or something, $200,000, $300,000. Like,
yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. It's fair. Couple T-shares here and there.
yeah,
You
it's,
have
it's,
to like
it's not that
maintain
much
it.
in future hex value.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But yeah, this pulse chain, man. Pulse chain to get you a few more of those. Don't worry.
I'm getting more and more bullish on Pulse Chain. I mean, just because I hear even OG Bitcoiners going on live streams and being like, yeah, I sacked. Yeah, I believe in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's funny. I haven't heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Our time has come, gentlemen.
Well, you know what they'll be buying after Pulse, right?
Probably, yes.
Yes. Pretty much.
HEX.
Pretty much.
Did you guys already talk about the rumor that came up yesterday? I'd love to hear your opinion on Binance.
Binance Code?
I don't really care about that.
You don't care about that?
Nah.
Not really.
Who cares?
Not really.
I personally wouldn't even want Hex on Binance because this is going to take people into a get wrecked arena. So that's my actual opinion on that.
Do you think we would pull value from them or they would pull value from us?
I think it's the latter, not the former.
Yeah, possibly, yes.
It's a casino. Anything with that casino element is going to pull people in.
Guys, I have seen ad on Facebook because I'm a boomer, and they were advertising a Squid Game token that is launching on Binance. Sorry for mentioning shitcoin, but goddamn, I mean, some people are going to be wrecked.
That is hilarious. It was a great show, by the way.
Yeah, I mean it's okay.
But
But
it was a funny show. Oh wait, we got another person in the background here.
it's horrible.
Boom.
What's
Hey,
up, guys?
Motley, hey.
Hey, what's up,
What
bro?
up, Molly?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Wales? What's up,
What's going
Markable?
on, brother?
What's up, Maddie?
How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Busy as hell as always.
Ain't
What
that
are you working
funny?
on?
Bro, it is insane. I never thought retirement would be so busy in my life.
I know, right?
Sign me back up for the Navy.
Yeah.
I thought I worked hard in the Navy, having to pick everyone else's slack up. Now I'm everything I'm doing now. I'm just like, oh no, this is way much more work.
Retirement is hard, man.
Yeah,
It is. It's rough. It's rough. It's good though. It keeps you.
I ordered
gives you
some gear
direction.
from your Hex merch store.
Awesome.
Thank
awesome.
you, sir. Good
What'd
stuff.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Couple beanies. The hoodies
Okay.
are next. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I saw a guy got a couple of the banners that look sick, and he put it up in his little foosball man cave.
Yeah.
They look dope. I don't even
Yeah.
have those yet. I need to order some now.
Hey, Motley, can you make stickers that say "Kiss My Hex" like the Wake Up Hex intro?
That's a good idea.
Done. Because I
Done.
want those things to be a thing, but I don't care if I'm not gonna do it. So
Kiss my hex.
yeah, and then instead of Hex, the logo. You know.
Gotcha. Yep. I like
Cool.
it.
Thank you.
Will be done.
Holy
We
Lord
write that
says
down
that's why
before I
he's still
forget.
working. He doesn't want to be busy.
Yeah, I've had
Fair
that.
enough.
I've had that conversation with Hollow Dog before. Like, he's like, how's like retirement like? And then like we're like talking about it. It's just like, yeah, it's not really retired though. At this point, it's just a new direction now.
Look at this comment from Mark. It's kind of true though, right? Whoever holds on the longest wins.
Are you fighting for your life?
I
It's also
finally,
not as
For
deadly.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Keep talking. I gotta pick up this.
I
call.
binged through that show last night. I freaking I stayed up till about I think it was like 3 or something in the morning finishing that show up. Yeah,
I like
pretty
to binge that stuff as well, man. Just
pretty nuts.
get rid of it. Like
I
I
think-
just want to have watched it and then be done with it.
I think that's one of the reasons Netflix is becoming more and more successful, because when they release those series, they actually release the entire series now instead of like, the every week an episode
Yeah.
comes out and people get sidetracked and lose focus. But man, when they put a whole series out there and it's a good one, people just sit there and I mean it's not healthy, but it gets the views and it really gets people just kind of just hooked on whatever it is. Like
I noticed it
Games
in my
or-
mind, like when I watch a show and I think, oh, this is a good one. In my mind, I literally switch on something. Like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna watch everything now. Like just right away, just everything.
Right.
Enjoy it
Sorry.
way more like that.
Sorry, I'm just writing down your idea in our Telegram group before I forget.
Back, bitches.
And for reference, you can just go to the Wake Up Hex intro. It's on the car and on the back.
Okay, perfect. I might have to screen grab that.
And then send one sticker to Matty.
Yeah, please do.
That would be sick. That would be
That's
sick.
that's my royalty. Send it to Manny.
the real life Wake Up Hex DeLorean.
Send it to my address in the Ukraine.
Making another trip number 3.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah, grab the raw PNG of Target with us. It has transparency.
Oi,
I
we
hear
have
Larry.
royalty in here.
I
Nice.
hear the Kool-Aid man.
I swear to
Doing
God.
good.
I mean, I'm still up since Wednesday. I was going to get a nap in. But
But I mean,
But they're overrated.
who sleeps, right?
I mean, that it was until I started watching more streams. And then I'm like, I can get a 2-hour nap in. And then I'm like, oh, Whales and Cloud are on. Maybe I'll watch the last 15 minutes. And then they call me out. And I'm like, well, fine. Fuck it. I got 2 hours to my meeting.
Motley, I just send you the
Hey,
image.
friends.
You sent me the image?
Yeah.
On Twitter or Telegram?
Telegram.
Okay, got it.
You don't do that Twitter shit.
It's all good, Crypto. You don't
do
need
it all.
sleep anyway, bro. You'll be all right.
Who needs sleep if you got t-shirts?
That's it, baby.
That is correct. That
T-shirts
is,
take care of life.
They take care of everything.
It's not
Yeah.
mentally healthy to be so sleep deprived.
Oh, come on.
Well,
Manny,
that
get out of
He's such a
here.
professional.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
this is what
All right,
happens now.
YOLO.
I gotta take Maddie out partying, and after that, I'd be like, I will not question the Kool-Aid on his sleeping activities ever again.
If you got more than 10 T-shares, you don't have to play the same rules.
My friend that I'm sleeping, she's a friend from Austin that came in to visit. She becomes a turtle tomorrow.
Oh,
Yay.
nice. Leveling up.
Congratulations to her.
Right?
That's
Right?
That's
big
exciting
achievement.
when you can level up a new rank.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I've been screaming at her for over a year and a half to get in. And she finally started doing her homework, and she gets into the thick of it. She listens to the whales, listens to the motley, and that's what I recommend. And
But does she listen to the cloud?
So
you're the student. So
okay. Never mind. Goodbye.
Be like, if you want to listen to Mark, you just call him because he's gonna ask me how to do CG shit, and then I'm just gonna go back to work.
So Kool-Aid, all you have to do to be a turtle is to visit you, right?
You wish. Might be too late for that
harness.
soon.
And if you get the harness into the water, then you can wonder about the turtling after. But or you can be like, and just jump out of a plane with a shark.
I do like that thumbnail.
That picture is nice.
It was pretty good. It was an ass hair that I've been up for way too long, and I'm like, you know what? I got the lightning right now.
I like that one.
Shark. Here, right you go. So, anyways, before I went and smoked, we were talking about pulse chain. Jesus, there's so much juicy shit going on with that. So much juicy shit in the background too. But it's still uncorrelated and uncalibrated to having two hexes that point at it as liquidity as a as ground zero for movement through. It doesn't. Two giant fucking sandworms that produce sandworms. What more do you want in life? Right. The axis is
more
sandworms. Beautiful, man. It's such a great analogy because it is that. It's gravity on top of gravity. And money goes where it's treated the best. So maybe in a few years, maybe ETH T-shares a little less. Well, I'm going to scoop up some of that. And then because I make my quick money over on Pulse from quicker stakes, and then I now have liquidity to buy EHEX when it goes down. People are so silly on the fact that they want to correlate one aspect of the game versus another. What? Now that you learn that there are vowels, you want to discontinue consonants, or the other way around? I really don't understand how your brain works for that. But they want an excuse to gamble, essentially.
Yeah.
Good take on that. Yeah.
That's what smart people want. I mean, anybody that doesn't want to keep their money in a productive asset, right? Like, that's pretty much what's going on. You're just looking for action. So, yeah, pretty straightforward, man. But Pulse Chain, though.
I mean, it's the whole thing. It's like you can leave the city, but sometimes you need an alley. And I'm just like, you really don't want to go down there anymore. Like, it's not even worth the time.
No, it's not. It's really not. But yeah, this Pulse Chain, man. So, Motley, talk to us about your little new venture.
Yeah.
Is he sharing?
Yeah, what's happening?
What venture?
Well, we are Legion.
Yeah, I know that part.
Yeah, Kool-Aid knows about it to some degree. Yeah, Legion Venture Capital. Our social media, if you want to follow us, is Legion VC News. We started our first stream. A lot of OGs in there, but essentially, it's going to be following the Pulse ecosystems a lot more closely than, say, like our personal channels are. That are going to be a mix of Hex and whatever, essentially whatever we're doing. But this is going to be following Pulse. Me and the guys, we're building a couple projects of our own. We're working on 3, maybe adding a 4th. We talked about it during the dev meeting we had this morning. And then we're going to be just doing interviews on new projects coming to space, which, I mean, we've already seen with like Liquid Loans, Jesse and Toshi and all them have been going around doing interviews. I still have to catch up on their stuff to see what they've discussed before interviewing them. They've been hounding me for an interview, but I was like, I just got back from Puerto Rico. I'm flying back out to Portugal here in the next couple days. So
are you really?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get
Why Portugal?
Why Portugal? The golden visa, sir.
There are tax advantages there, so
yes.
go see how the beaches are clean.
What's up?
If I'm correctly informed, Portugal will introduce some cryptocurrency legislation.
Oh, I'm going
next
to
year.
I'm going to the Caribbean as well on this trip. Don't worry, I'm setting stuff in place already.
So ideally, what you want to do, if I was going to game theory something, is you'd want to have multiple different entities or trusts and or relationships, and those relationships can churn money through a particular avenue or straw. And those straws need to have a particular correlation to the economy. That way, let's just say government actors turn a blind eye because you're doing something positive to help real people. I have a particular island that I'm looking at to do the same thing. So when you think about the time value of money, what is it? It's building not just generation for your wealth for yourself, but allowing you to build generational wealth for communities, for entities, for countries. And very, very soon, with El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender, that's going to happen very, very, very quickly through multiple different, let's just say, pigeonholed countries that other countries with bigger guns but shit against. So it's really the unevening of the entire world. If you think about how the lower third world countries can very, very quickly be first world countries.
Yeah, you said money goes where it's treated best. Like you're seeing it take place now.
I do quote my whales when I say so.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I'm doing. So like, I was Puerto Rico past couple weeks. Now going to Portugal, and then going to a couple of Caribbean islands on the way back. So a lot of traveling, a lot of busy. I'll try to stay as mobile as I can. I think it'll be a little bit better. Puerto Rico's infrastructure was a little bit rougher than I thought in some of the places I stayed, so that was kind of tough. But I think Portugal will be a lot better, and even the Caribbean islands that I'm visiting will be a little bit better on the infrastructure wise. But yeah, just doing that. It's gonna start setting up some of my finances and getting that in order, and then. But yeah, Legion VC news. Follow us everywhere, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. We had our first stream kind of discussing what we're going to be doing, but essentially it'll just be going over our projects when it's time to release them, and then going over mainly I would like to do interviews with hexagons that are building, and there are hexagons, liquid loans, Pulse Doge. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to get through that. I was trying to get to that earlier.
And we get to talk about it, right? Too, because like it's funny, right? Because even meme tokens have their place. I know hexagons that have already invested in it, but it brings other communities in. And at the end of the day, all I'm concerned about is more transactions taking place on Pulse, the network growing, more fees burning, and it pumps everyone else's bags just growing.
I mean, if you really
people
want
have been hating on Pulse Doge, but it's
cute and
funny.
Like small, just make a Pulse debit card, right? So you transact in Pulse and just burn fees as much as you want. Easy. There are ways to like make that transactional ecosystem work. But what's really interesting is when someone takes a Bansky, puts this NFT, burns that Bansky, and now that entity has been immortalized as like a Ready Player One or a fucking Ghost in the Shell type entity. And all that shit's coming fast, gentlemen. It's going fast.
Yeah, I think that's one thing Richard might. Well, it's funny, right? Because he ended up being right about the 10,000 Bitcoin with that wick on finance, which was amazing. I mean, obviously not for the people involved, but
Richard's really lucky and brilliant with this comment.
I know, right?
His luck has enough bravado that he'll probably make the bravado work. But
that's like the fate.
He totally dumped coins on there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Why not?
I know you. I think you know. I know you think Richard's like the Godwell of Bitcoin, but I think it's just CZ fucking people over on Binance because he has control over that exchange.
So many longs.
Yeah,
just remember, everyone
you see it. It plays out time and time again. I mean, it's nothing we're not used to.
Well, that's inherently the thing. Is like people talk about HEX as immutable code. That's level 1 pleb shit. Uncorruptible code is level 2 shit. Now the question is, who can be corrupted? Those that have the yield. Well, that yield's locked up. So how long is that yield locked up for? Well, those that have the liquid. But most of the people that have the liquid are still team win. So they really can't be corrupted because they want to change the world. And that's inherently the problem with the old legacy days, is you had to bend the knee to legacy families to be able to maintain your status quo, a duke, a knight, or whatever. The new aspect of finance connection and control moves rapidly fast. So none of that even has to happen anymore. Right? I don't need to send a carrier pigeon to my night over in fucking Europe to fucking come back, tell me where shit is. No, I'm already connected. So that correlation is going to be huge in the future for identifying the interpersonal relationships of signed contracts on signed contracts on signed contracts, because that's what it is, essentially. Like when you use an app to pull up your phone and pay for parking, you're using an app that's in a DEX, which would be your phone, to then pay for parking. It goes further and further down the line when people understand that what they're tapping their wallet into is everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just about easy use at that point, right?
Yeah.
But so Richard was right on the 10,000 call, kinda. So
Yeah,
I like
that
that.
was funny. That was
I like that was pretty. That was some divine air, Richard, for sure. And then, but I do think he's probably wrong on NFTs. I think they will have a place in the future. It's just if they're done properly, and essentially, if the right fundamentals are put in place, if there is ways like Larry can probably speak on it, just gamifying.
Vastly, yes.
Yeah, gamifying NFTs, and I know me and Patrick are also working on a side project outside of Legion that is going to involve them. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can implement, and Hex Toys has already done it to a degree as well.
Sure. So I was awesome with that too.
Yeah, I think in the future.
So let me just do a quick crash course.
Yeah, go ahead.
NFTs have nothing to do with silly little JPEGs. Even Chrissy said it in the trailer. Everyone thought the internet in the 90s was just to send email. No.
Yeah.
What an NFT is the ability to take a social security number and to have another social security number underneath it. So what you're doing is you're twinning yourself that you can now do business as a business, which we already have for the privileged, not the plebs. Now, the plebs have this. They can do anything, and because it's analogous that anything can be a contract on a contract, it gets interesting because now you can weigh them versus their XP. Let's just say we wrap this into an MMO, right? You can go hunt really, really, really big things or kill a bunch of deer. Well, if you have a bunch of friends that can kill all the big things for themselves, they just take you with me, you get them free. Or you kill a bunch of deer. Either way, you can arrive at the same point. The question is time. And so how much time do you want to put in versus the value of said time? It gets complex, but like the future of NFTs has nothing to do with silly JPEGs. Mm-hmm. Just like taking 15 minutes to download a GIF back in the day in 93, right? And you're like, ooh, take me 10 minutes to download an image. I'm going to go get some coffee. Yeah, I was a kid then, couldn't drink coffee. But still.
So I think that's an application of trust, right? So non-fungible, right, means that it's not a currency, basically.
No. Non-fungible means it's unique. Different, man. Correct. Non-fungible just means that if I...
But when we talk about fungibility as a property of money, then we talk about
but it's not property of money, it's a property of uniqueness, right? So if I fungibly build 30 Ferraris and I name them all, and I put that in the dossier, in the buy agreement, that they're named all these things, even though they're the same car, now they're fungible because I named them. The naming aspect or ownification is the NFT. Has nothing to do with anything else.
But we shouldn't call it what's already been co-opted to mean a JPEG. We shouldn't call trust protocols, and we shouldn't call like products that are good for people. We shouldn't call those NFTs.
No, but the word NFT is being buzzed around like the word email was in the 90s. It's the same thing as people say, oh, you build games? It means you're a programmer, right? I'm like, bitch, you realize there's 30 different departments in my 400-person building. No, I'm not a programmer. I do not have robot ears. But understanding the ownership of the aspect is what's important. And if we think about carrier pigeon maximalist days, they didn't have to worry about having a hard line where only one pigeon could land. They just had live pigeons. But a fax machine maximalist only usually had one dial-up line. So their throughput or their straw was very small. NFTs take what dial-up did to Wi-Fi, but it's
crypto does, not NFTs.
Well, no,
crypto does that.
No, NFTs give people the ability to give unique contract interactions based on other smart contracts. Remember, a contract is a container, right? And so if that container has attributes, those attributes can trigger other code.
And if you're not doing that on crypto, then it's meaningless.
Well, crypto is the only thing that has checks and balances against itself, right? When you drive through a toll lane, you assume they're going to scan your license plate. And if you're in a rental car, that bill doesn't come to you, you assume. Same thing goes with code, right? So like if you're using someone else's code, the bill doesn't come to you, but you understand how the code works, if that makes some logical sense.
What do you think, Molly?
Sorry, I was distracted.
So
Not gonna lie.
That's why he asked you.
I may or may not have been up till like 4 watching Squid Game. So
what are the good uses of NFTs?
I mean, so for what we're trying to do without giving away too much, there has to be another Kool-Aid was saying, there has to be another value other than just a JPEG attached to it. So for me, what Wave 3 are doing is essentially we're taking the aspects of what Sai's done with tangible things. We're implementing kind of a random, you don't know what you're going to get. So there's kind of that inner gambler kind of person. But the end goal is to essentially acquire the right amount of pieces, and then it's going to essentially tell a story, and it's going to essentially touch on things that are important to people, like nostalgia and emotions. And I wish I could go in more. It's probably one of the most exciting projects that I'm working on, and I never thought it would be something that was even NFT related. But like the more and more we work on it, I'm just like, this thing could truly be like it essentially could be like a lasting legacy for our community. So like that kind of stuff really gets me like inspired, and I can't wait until it's done. So it's got to touch on certain components, and it's got to, I don't know, it's got to be more than just like Kool-Aid was saying, just JPEGs and stuff like that.
Well, the JPEG side is just because that's what people can visualize right now.
Right.
That's
You're good, brother.
Didn't realize I was dying on live.
Smokes one only. Puff up pass. So, if you don't have
input you've had in weeks, Will. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Well, we do like you to go on vacation, though. It hurt my heart that you weren't there every day. However, I was happy that you had vacation time, because I still wasn't convinced till a few times that you weren't real, because I'm the only fucker that doesn't sleep. And I'm like, you're awake still?
I'm trying to get to your level.
I
got a long way to go. I know I got a long way to go.
There's a lot of crazy that comes in between there and there.
Yeah.
But so Maddie, back to your fungibility, it's just uniqueness, right? So think about, tribes really didn't have crafted people, places, and things till families could pass that down. You couldn't be a blacksmith unless your father was a blacksmith. That's weird. That's why guilds were invented, to funnel other people in and to protect their resources. But that's fungibility. And that fungibility is actually yield. It is the most unique thing that you can do. But
it's not the uniqueness that is facilitated. You know, crypto is the thing that allows you to prove the uniqueness. And so you can make a use case for uniqueness all you want, but that's not going to tell me that NFT is a bigger idea than crypto. Crypto is the technology, not NFT.
No.
It's a trust protocol for money and then for ideas.
Yeah, but you can't just use the word crypto when you're not talking about the interconnectedness of decentralized money, because all of us get paid from a bank. We don't go with our rake and shake the money tree and be like, yo, bitch, I want my extra 10 spot. You don't do that. So you trust that you get paid.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I want to
leave
see
me
you
alone.
like DeLorean up with that rake. That'll be grand. But the problem is most people don't realize that they're getting paid in the same system with zero control. Now, with crypto, air quote, you use the internet, more important, to access your own IP, your identity, to then log into your wallet or your social security number. Well, now that social security number can own other social security numbers and interact on those contracts of thus. That is the power of the NFT. It has nothing to do with the JPEG. It's literally comparing an NFT to a JPEG is literally comparing downloading a swimsuit model picture on a 14.4 modem that takes 10 minutes. It means nothing. It just means you could do it. And you authored the request to do it. NFTs combined with oracles and DAOs are the most nuts you make nuts face thing you can do.
So it's like a clout chasing thing, right? Like, you know, we have to attach like all of these ideas about trust and crypto onto something that's already popular, which is gambling on JPEGs.
No. It's not, delete JPEGs from that sentence, sir.
But that's what it means to the majority of people. You can't.
Okay, sir. I am a AAA game developer. I am not everyone else buying little pictures of apes. I am telling you, the future of not only gaming, but intercommerce is based on identity management and workflow. We got 75.
We already have identity management and workflow in the fiat system, and what we need is a truth.
Maddie, and we do that.
A way to communicate truth, which is crypto, not NFTs.
NFTs is the ability to write code on code on code. It has nothing to do with JPEGs. That's what people are playing poker with right now. You know, they also use dice. You know what a dice is? A cube.
So I think we agree that it's just, you know, some people think of NFTs for what their technology is, and some people think of it for what it's being used as in popular culture and what people
and neither of those are correct.
People see it as.
Yeah, but Maddie, neither of those are correct. An NFT is a coded identity that can run a coded identity that has access to a coded identity.
But I could say a Gnosis safe is that. I could say any smart contract thing is that.
Well, Gnosis safe is a wallet. An NFT is something that move in between wallets. So an NFT, Gnosis safe.
To launch an NFT, you have to have a smart contract. So I would argue that they're all forms of smart contracts, right?
Yeah, but we're all pieces of carbon too.
Guys, we have a special request.
Yeah, say money. I've been waiting for this. Kool-Aid, you have to say, where's the money?
Where did the ETH go?
Oh my
No,
God. Not the same.
It's about the word money.
No, ETH is not in Bangladesh. Carmen San Diego.
You're weird.
ETH.
Dude. No, dude. Kool-Aid. Huddle Dog is requesting you to say money.
Oh, okay,
they like how you say money with the.
It appreciates if I actually look where I'm talking. Money, and my voice is dead. Money.
There you go. That was good. That was a good sound clip.
Huddle Dog is gonna listen to that on repeat while he's going to sleep.
Cool money. Cool money. Cool running.
Why am I in ASMR?
I fucked up on my manifestation. I'm now in Jamaica.
Hey, Will, remember when we talked about Hexicans having all our own things?
Yeah.
Like just an hour ago? We even have our own ASMR channel.
I'm telling you, fucking Huddle Dog, you need to fucking sell your voice, man. You literally can put people to sleep forever, and I want to listen to you.
Jesus.
Damn,
was he a hitman?
I mean, go the fuck to sleep is different than go to sleep. I mean, we have Samuel Jackson with go the fuck to sleep, and you know.
I still can't get over how tall Huddle Dog is. Like I knew he was tall, but then when I saw those pictures with him with Richard, and Richard was wearing those like stilts of boots that he had with Prada, I was like, my God, Huddle Dog, you're still tall. Jesus.
Oh, that's why he welcomes you to the whole brother, because otherwise he'd be saying welcome to the shorts brother.
And you know Richard was trying his hardest to be one of the tallest ones there, and then Huddle Dog just made him look like a little kid.
He actually said that. You
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
well, I'm around the Europeans, so I have to wear my big boy shoes.
I thought you get born with that with your stein and your beard. You get big boy shoes by default, don't you?
It's all that Viking blood out there.
That's what I'm saying. It's that Viking blood.
I'm not that tall, guys.
Well,
I mean-
Huddle Dog is tall.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
you weren't one of the berserkers, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 6'3", bro. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8" and proud of it. I'll still fuck your ass up.
It's not about how tall you are; it's how long you've been staked.
That's
Yeah,
it, baby.
I mean, that is true.
Give a whales a hammer and he will fuck you.
Turning very dark.
Oh man, that was funny. Oh man, but yeah, post-chain is gonna open up the NFT game, I guess. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know shit about NFTs. I can't.
So let's walk it back.
I just don't think I could care enough to understand it. I don't know.
Yeah, think about it.
It's like if you already have money, what do you need additional shit on top of it for?
Well, what happened?
Well,
with
it's the
Rome
people.
when-
It's why would people play games? Like,
That's why
it doesn't really do
Pokemon
anything,
cards.
but it's fun. Like, I don't. I'm at your level, Wells. Like, I couldn't care less, but I know how people work nowadays, and like, I also don't understand why people buy fucking Charizards.
Like, I'm not saying why would
Yeah, but
people
it has
buy
nothing to do with that, guys.
JPEGs.
Nah, I get it. I get your point. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like that.
I get your point, Kool-Aid. It's
Yeah,
just
but you use a QR code, right? You've done that before, right? To scan shit. Or like a hotel thing, an RFID tag.
Yeah.
Think of that RFID tag was actually transferred to something that was fungible. That means when you checked into a hotel, you are the RFID tag.
Right.
So you walk up to the door
yeah.
because you're fungible, and now you can open it.
Big
That's
K.
an NFT.
Big K talks about the NFT that he bought that allows him to like throw out the first pitch of a Cubs game. That's pretty dope.
That's
Oh,
pretty
cool.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Right, for
And he-
advantage on that shit too.
Yeah, he's gonna be decked out in hex gear when he does it. It's gonna be pretty sick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, one of my fifth onboards, like basically, like I scold him if he spends any of his hex because he's doing well, but like he can't be spending his hex on rent, especially
No,
not now.
definitely not.
Yeah, but like he wanted one of those Richard NFTs, and like I know I got mine for like $350. I had to buy it for like $2,000. But Sai does such a good job of what he's doing with making it's Bansky. Bansky nailed it right on the head. Burn the fucking real art, and now the NFT's real. We just don't have a place to experience.
You're just making digital scarcity. You're trying to.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Remember, and I can't give away too much of what I'm doing on my back end, but like we don't have access to the ability to connect with the internet as fluidly as the internet is available to connect. Just like America's in Europe, it took a boat to get over before a plane, and that took time.
Mm-hmm.
Once everyone is connected, now the world will move a hell of a lot faster. It will move even more faster after these things layer together and hive
more
together.
faster.
So let me ask you a question.
That's even more than faster.
Does it
Well,
make
it's harder,
sense?
faster, stronger.
Let me ask a question. Does it make sense to put video in NFT format, for example?
Oh, good. 100%. That's the only way you can make deepfakes.
Ours might unlock a video if you have all the correct components.
So how can you use
I do
videos
believe
in
someone
NFTs? I don't
may have
understand
suggested
that.
that in the hot tub there, sir.
I don't understand that.
So, okay, stop there. Well, so what we do is we need to think about
Like, why
Your-
would you need that off
What-
of a crypto?
because
network.
your output device. So let's just say you had an evil Larry that could use not just
We already
deepfakes.
do.
He's right here.
That fucker is in the closet. If you see the other me, tell him to go home.
That's why you just stay on his good side.
Right.
He's the mean
Never
one.
make Larry
But
mad.
like, let's just say if I even wanted to like cleanly do animation of someone, A, I need to be an animator, B, I need to be a character artist, then rig it, do all this other stuff. Now there's cheap ways to do it, but that's like professional level. You can just deep fake someone. Now, if we know that your cell phone is attached to an IP address, that IP address is attached to an NFT, which is essentially your social security number. Show me your papers. Sucks. But that's your primary wallet, right? You chose it. Those wallets can actually have tangential control and connections to other wallets. Here's where it gets interesting. Because you can pay $1,400 a month to have software like Silver does that looks at what other wallets do, what other wallet things, and compile those into a marketable address. Now you don't need Google, Facebook, or any marketing management shit in the world. You have access to all of it. All of it. Every transaction, everything you do, every geolocation. Now, granted, those are going to be wrapped in oracles. But what they're going to be is, so what else we'll call them, like subprime loans.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the most ideal things to buy. But you know that Larry Grabbag at this particular moment in time is somewhere in LA. I'm not in Seattle. I'm not in my home of Denver. Grabbag Larry is somewhere in LA. Okay, good enough. Good enough for a subprime loan. But that lower tiered bagging of that data and the resale of it will build everything. It literally clears the entire fiat system, because you could take someone that, let's say, lost a bunch of limbs in the war, or got a bad disease and couldn't move. Put them in a VR helmet and let them fucking work, or interact with the world. By interacting with the world, they make a they make a currency-based solution to do something in an ecosystem. Mm-hmm. By creating a ripple, you create a wave. When a butterfly somewhere spreads its wings, eventually you get a hurricane in a different country. So by building that ripple model, that is NFT. Nothing to do.
We're talking about, like the greater topic here is Pulse, and I would argue that that's not NFT, that's Pulse, because Pulse is going to be the protocol that people use to tell the truth and to trust something, because double spends can be caught with a data center, 30 data centers.
That's not the right use case. That's like putting gas in your car, Maddie. Like, the gas in your car isn't worth the journey you want to go. So if you want to say, because Pulse and Ethereum essentially are gas-based entities that give content, right? I want to go interact on this DApp. I have to open up my Fox, say that it's okay to talk, check my advanced settings that says you randomly can't spend shit. That's a utility, like filling up your car. That is not the journey.
What's my point, though?
My point is that the destination is not just the car. Pulse is going to be the utility of the utility.
Pulse is going to be the protocol that's used to transfer information in a way that we can trust without burning electricity. And
but that's the same thing as calling layer 3
you can't take everything. You can't take every application of trust or truth and then just say that that's an NFT, because both are fungible. That's like a false argument. Like,
well, no, it's technically not, because the fungibility
or whatever, non-fungible. Yeah, like
fungibility I'm saying is an identity. You don't send an email to.
So then you're talking about an identity contract, or you're talking about a smart contract that shows identity that's applied in a certain way on a trust protocol called Pulse, which is awesome, and it's going to go to the moon. Hit the like and subscribe button, people.
Maddie, I swear to God. Like a masterclass in game theory, and you fanboy it out. But all right, so
gents, I'm wrapping off. Have a nice Friday.
Peace out, bro.
Peter.
Later, Peter. But Peter, we're talking about NFTs, man.
Yeah, talking about NFTs, man. It's good to see Peter.
Who knew we would ever
Peter's
talk
like,
about
I'm going to
NFTs
bed
on Wales only? Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. Well, I'm not saying much about it because I don't really care. But that's what happens when a blockchain comes around. And you got
later, Peter.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with blockchain. Just think about NFTs as monarchies.
But hold on. I have to disagree, because without the blockchain, none of this would be possible. So you have to consider the blockchain. So
but blockchain is used as a buzzword, right? Remember, the blockchain is just the internet. Just like highways and roads are transportation. If nobody fucking put down a goddamn road, you ain't gonna want to hoof it through a bunch of trees. So the blockchain is the internet, and that gives everyone, not with tithe and creed, the accessibility to do something and have an identity on the internet. So everyone kind of ish gets an equal footing.
I like the discussions we're able to have now. I think that, like if I say a banana and an apple are both fruit, then that doesn't mean that I want a banana if I want an apple, right? Like,
well, it means you're gonna buy a grapple. Is what you're telling me, because
there's
Grapple?
saying that the internet
like
is
grapples,
the
they're good.
blockchain or is crypto, like that. I mean, they're not the same thing. Like, they both transmit information, but I would rather have crypto than just having the internet.
Correct.
Yeah, because you can't have crypto without the internet. The internet is what took people out of fax machine and carrier pigeon maximalist days.
That's
Like,
right.
But that's the thing, right? You can't have NFTs without crypto. So that's the same.
Well, I know we're now. Here's the real concept, Wills. During the beginning of COVID, did you have to hunt down toilet paper? Toilet paper is the original goddamn NFT and internet, because
I'm a clean booty body.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to come to that agreement with yourself on what's the most important thing. And wiping your assets, you better fucking have that asset. And if you don't have that asset, it's not my problem.
If you don't have that asset, your ass is out.
That's right. It's
literally
time for a shower, friends. Time for a shower. But that's, again, just as toilet paper can be discarded, that is the NFT.
Right.
It's the gas and the identity connected with the transaction. That's interactable spatial web data is the future. And if you don't understand what that is, that's totally fine. But realize that the data is going to be able to interact with you. What happens when AI gets involved, and even small AI, that it just says "ow" when you push it? Right? Am I not wrong, Wells? I'm just talking about, like, I need. In the game industry, we call it a hit effect, right? If you hit it, it affected, and it does something that says, "I acknowledge the fact that you did this. Good job. You're an adult." So, like, an NFT is essentially, again, a social security number that can do things. Social security numbers that can do things. Social security numbers that can bump into an AI, and it says "ow," and that's fine. That's okay. Just binary JPEGs is the simplest form. It's basically like having eggs, a frying pan, and no butter. Like, you're just like, well, hard eggs again. Right. So I really.
Yeah, I'd rather give the credit to real crypto like Pulse than to give the credit to something that's already been popularized as a gambling mechanism for JPEGs. So that's why.
But it's not. Pulse is the utility, sir. The JPEG idea
Pulse is the chain that allows the truth to be told through stopping double spends.
Well, that's one aspect of it. The JPEG mentality is a gambling mentality of human touch plate on what they want to spend their time on. If you took 1 million chimpanzees with 1 million typewriters, and 3 of those million wrote Shakespeare, and I harvest those fuckers, and I put them into a sweat mill, and I'm like, y'all better write me Hamlet too. I've been waiting for this shit for 1,000 years. It's not gonna happen. So you have to look at the correlation of the utilities on how they talk to each other. Otherwise, even the system itself will eat you alive. So crypto is basically internet, email, and connectability, though it may be expensive and or inconvenient to use. Cool. ETH, we got some programming on it. We got smart people on it. We got some sexy on it. Now we can do automated things, because before, if someone knocked on the door, you had to go answer it, right? Richard says you can't program your fucking alarm clock with Bitcoin. Now we're doing multiple tiers and even levels, right? Because we have level 2. What does level 2 mean for most people? They don't know.
The Shakespeare analogy you said, like that actually does relate to like proof of work, right? Because if you have 1,000 chimpanzees at typewriters, somebody has to still figure out like what the noise is from the garbage, right? Like garbage in, garbage out. Like,
sure,
you have too much data. You can't
they just harvest the good
if they
ones,
wrote
right?
Hamlet or not, because they haven't because nobody's been there to judge it, right?
No, you're right. You're right.
So that's kind of interesting. Like proof of work systems, they have failed when you look at Pulse and what Pulse is able to do with 33 validators to be able to tell the truth. and to not have to waste energy through proof of work. You know, like
So
catching double
Matt,
spends
let's
doesn't
back
require so much proof of work. It just requires proof of trust, which can be achieved through smart contracts and through validators being set up with game theory to be so independent from each other and have so much at stake that they'll catch each other if there's a double spend. And then you can have a protocol to make social security numbers, to make JPEGs, to make things in between, right?
Yeah, but let's just not look at just double spending. Double spending is one aspect of driving a car. If you knew how, let's say, your trucker license and you can operate any of the wheels, the one thing you don't want to do is run out of gas. That's the one thing that you're fucked in. You have no more wheels and no gas. Now, if you look at the correlation of where do I want to go with this? So
you're talking about double spends.
But double spends is a simple solution of you decided to drive 1 mile away from the gas station and you ran out of gas and you're looking at the gas station and you realize you fucked up and you realize that I double spend it, or I was those that had my coins on a centralized exchange. The have or have nots of what double spending means you got fucked. Now, to get not that, you need to take precautions, right? That's why the chicken looked before he crossed the street. Nobody asked why the chicken crossed twice. He just asked why. Clearly, the chicken got across because no one asked, why is there a dead chicken in the road? They asked why the chicken crossed the street. So everyone is misinterpreting the use. It's nuts, sir. Like it's nuts. And again, I don't want to come on and like lecture because it's not what I do. But like I do have a very granular understanding of what microtransactions do to completely turn over Elder Scrolls Online or ZeniMax. Like there's going to be a huge influx of not only financial funds, but ideas attached to those finances. And what do they need to spend it? Gas. So as long as they're like, let's say on Pulse, because the one thing about Pulse is it's not a ghost chain, right? Pulse is some substrate. There's more to it than just double spend, or why BSV is the trashiest fucking, alleyway to go down to, but you can do your blockchain shit. But
Pulse hasn't launched yet, so we don't know if it's a ghost chain or not. But we know that it's a function.
Well, a ghost chain would mean it does not have system substrate, sir. So system substrate means that the whole thing's there. If you have a car and you have the key and you can go to your garage and not turn it on, you can do that. And you do that long enough, you don't have a battery. But you cannot do that. That is your choice to not use the network that you have a key to. So system substrate gives everybody the key to everything. It's very different than you parked your car somewhere and forgot about it and then came back a month later and your car doesn't turn over, right? Or turn on. Because when people ask, like, what kind of car do you want? I'm like, I want the one that turns on. I don't give a fuck. So think about system straight in what it is going to unlock later. Because if we roll back to payphones and pagers and so you have pagers, you have iPhone or iPods, and you have iPhones. Very different in how that cascading measure works. And it's very similar to how I've learned economics through whales. Because like I can see the tiers due to my exposure to the industry. Not a lot of us have the exposure that whales has to the industry. So he can speak on a higher level of articulation because he touches it every day. Same thing as a nurseless smock. But interconnectionable data is the most expensive thing. And it's already what Facebook, Google, Apple do is they sell that data to aggregate ads.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Facebook. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's funny you mentioned Facebook.
I always tell people, don't listen to me. Call me.
No, hold on.
Really?
Because this is important. Hold on, this is important because Facebook is trying to change their name.
I saw that.
Guess what? Guess what? Metaverse.
No,
That's the worst thing in the world because they're
Really?
so hammy.
But what is a metaverse known for? Metaverse is basically a world of NFTs.
Well, so I was artist number 1 at building virtual Burning Man 2 years ago. Where
Guys,
COVID started,
real quick before we go further into this discussion,
and I've
someone
got a meeting in 10 minutes.
someone just
And
said,
there's my lunch.
I am hate watching this. What the fuck's even being said? This guy has stayed awake too long and needs to take a nap to make sense again. And I just want to comment on that comment. This is just how Crypto Kool-Aid is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much sleep he has. This is just how he is. You just have to appreciate it the way he is. He's just like a form of art. You know? It's just Kool-Aid.
and we appreciate Kool-Aid. Those of us who know.
Yeah, man.
We do.
I actually think this is an interesting conversation. It's something different from what we're normally doing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like with you guys talking, I'll hop on, but it's ludicrous for people not to understand the difference.
I don't.
The thing is, Wales, like you understand it so tactically in economics that, like, I now am so done with dealing with people if they don't watch at least 10 hours of your video. And I tell them, I'll know if you miss a fucking minute. And I do.
Hell yeah.
I fucking know exactly because I grill them.
Go to your room and watch Wales only.
Here's the fucked up thing is I send them to our fucking Nixon video on finance on the fiat reboot. And I'm like, I hate listening to myself. And I tell my friends, don't listen to me. I sound like an asshole. You can talk to me personally. But now I've got to watch my own video so I can get my own notes for the shit in my own head that I know to grill them to make sure that they did what their homework was.
Silly says he drank the Kool-Aid.
Right.
Yes, he did.
The
A little
Kool-Aid
bit
is
too
knowledge,
much
man.
sometimes.
The cool, like having fun in life, doing things, all the rest of that, experiencing that, it's great. The Kool-Aid is knowledge. You need to train yourself in everything for any situation that you need to face.
I just told that to somebody yesterday.
It's the goddamn truth, sir. That's why again, like I send them to you, and if I lecture the fuck out of them, like if you miss a minute of Wales's video, I'll know. So don't fuck it up. Yeah, it's 4 hours. Oh, you want someone to give you the fucking cliff notes?
Right.
I'll give the whole sentence to you, sir. Like, you learn the whole thing, but like, yeah, you're a false fucking cliff.
It's a scary thing to
get you the
ask
goddamn
Wales.
cliff and don't tell you how to get across it.
It's a scary thing to ask Wales a question because if you ask a question and he already put it in a video, he's like, dude, I made a video about it.
Well,
And-
but the thing
and then
is,
you're
you
like,
need to have
I'm
legacy,
sorry.
though, because I remember when Wales wasn't here, and there was Motley, and there was RG, and a couple of us, and now there's what, like
Hundreds
like
almost.
100 people. Fucking
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. I don't even have to stream often.
There's so many new people. It's insane. Like people I've never even seen before.
It's great. It's the network effect. Remember, Metcalfe's law is the law we're playing
It's
now.
happening.
Moore's law is great. Metcalfe's law
Metcalfe's
doubles
law,
down because it runs on a square. My math friend here, Wales, will tell you if I'm not correct, but like that's the one we want to focus on.
I jacked it up my first video. I was calling it like Moore's law or Murphy's law or some shit.
So Moore's law is technology speeds up based on the ability for it to do so. And then Metcalfe's law is the social constraints on a social network square when it uses theoretically shitting on the top of Moore's law to go faster. So because you have one faster and two fasters, and that other second faster moves on a square, it pulls it up as quickly as one pushes it down.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
It's all about
Metcalfe's and Moore's laws interact to make technology what
And
it
no,
is.
you're right. And that's where like Axis's analogy on why Hex is 2 moons and Pulse is a straw is probably the most dynamic breakdown ever. Most people may not get the intricacies of what it is, but it's the simplest way to state it. Right? You'd rather have a 5-plug, because I've got this weird fucking GIF up right now, 5-plug extension cord. Then the one orange one that has one port. Yeah, it goes 30 feet, but I'd rather have the fucking 5 one. I unplug the one with 5 ports into the one that has 30 feet. Technology is about building puzzle pieces together that hook into each other. And again, these puzzle pieces are just like math. They don't care about your fucking feelings. Put whatever picture you want on them. Nobody gives a shit. I put A1 into C3 and it worked. I win. So that is going to be where the future is going to entail, because like we have now the ability for all of us to talk throughout the country or time.
Throughout the world, man.
Exactly.
The world, really.
Or space. I did this expose for this doc I've got to write. Remember, Tesla's biggest thing, I literally have to be on call in 15 minutes. But Tesla's thing has nothing to do. They make money off of fucking green energy credits for the cars. What those cars do, allow them to build batteries. What those batteries do, allow them to build a spaceship. What does a spaceship have to do with a battery? Fucking nothing. You know what a spaceship does? It allows you to go directly up in transportation and then come directly down and use the world rotational axis to make the fastest transportation of high value goods ever. But what is the telemetry needed for any of that? Space travel? Fucking magic green cars? No, it's Starlink. Because
Time
it's
deposit,
not
HEX.
unpluggable. Yeah.
Was that a choice?
Huh?
HEX, time deposit. Is that one of the
Yeah,
choices?
wait, it's not if you don't have access to the internet.
Dips. I want that one.
Are you can have children? Now, Fobo Motley's on the stream. I need to get to work. Shit,
I'd rather have 5 stakes than children.
Now, the interesting thing, if you want to like contemplate the future of NFTs, figure out how Hexicans are going to make sure that there's always accessible internet and universal basic purpose for it across the world. That's 4 levels ahead of it.
I'm definitely going to make sure everyone always has internet, because otherwise I can't check my Staker app all the time.
Well, look, this is the way I look at the internet. The internet is always valuable because it's about the sharing of information.
Correct.
So, from that perspective, it's always going to be valuable.
Yeah, but that's how they take it away from you, too. That's how they put you back in the poorhouse. And that's like, I mean, you're the one that gun to the butter, man. Fucking, I got concerned after your conversation started to figure out a way out. So, here's
the thing. You should have been concerned. It shouldn't have taken that conversation, because this is why we had to have that conversation.
I know. I do a particular set of things well. I ignore the rest of it, and I have other friends that handle that part for me. But I like to not be cynical, Larry. That bleeds back angry Larry, and we don't want angry Larry alive. We put him in the box. So
we put him in the box, and then we sell him as an NFT.
Right.
That's a really dangerous virus. That's how you get COVID.
Hey guys, I don't like to do this, but I have to go.
I do as well. I have a meeting in 10 minutes and I have to smoke. So again, Will, Molly, the Cloud. Who else we got here?
Maddie.
I love you too, Larry.
All you friends. Sorry, I lost my voice tonight, but it's great to talk to you all. Some crazy things going on. Remember, when people talk about NFTs, they have fucking no idea what they're talking about. The future of NFTs has nothing to do with what it's being used for. Think about like baking soda. How many things do you do with baking soda? Do you bake with baking soda?
Fucking Kool-Aid's analogies.
It says bake on the fucking
We got
thing.
it now.
1 million chimpanzees.
Now
Put
I
in the sweat line.
Now I understand NFTs. Thank you, Kool-Aid.
Thank you. It's like baking soda.
Swear to God. I swear to God. It burns my brain when people are like, I hate video games. When I talk about game theory, I'm like,
Wow.
I'm sure you do. You can press the power button. No, I cannot. I've been up for 2 days. Fuck video games. Anyway, all the love. Man, fucking, it's always a treat of life to talk to y'all. So be good. I'll talk to you soon.
Same, brother.
Later,
Peace.
brother. And then there was
now it's
4.
nice and quiet.
I was gonna say then there was 4, but I don't know where Maddie is.
Yeah.
I'm glad he shut. The only thing I could think the whole time with his DeLorean back there is like, man, he's gonna run his battery down with that with the lights being on. DeLorean's gonna be immobile. Yeah, yeah.
Too funny, man.
That thing really is immaculate. Holy crap!
Yeah,
It's such simple steel, man.
It's beautiful. Oh,
well,
back.
Well, that's the thing. Just most cars' bodies were
great,
never
man.
made of steel. Like DeLorean was so wild at the time of a concept.
Heavy as fuck,
like,
right?
The line, heavy as fuck. The lines, the doors, everything was just completely new. Nothing like it had existed before then.
Yeah, beautiful thing.
Well, I enjoyed this a lot. I'll talk to you later, guys.
Peace,
Later,
man.
bro.
Good to see it.
Sure.
Boom.
All right.
And then there was 3.
Nah. Got some wood right here, sir. I'm good. I'm covered. So how's it going, guys? It's a pleasant Friday. Seeing the dips being bought.
Yeah. How's that? Where you? So you're at St. Louis right now, Maddie?
Yeah.
Oh, how was the meetup?
Yeah, like have you guys had the official one yet?
We just did the unofficial one last night. It was really sick. Like all the people who showed up were super cool. You know how Hexicans are. It was only like pretty much OGs and people who watch all the streams, everything. So we got like a really good group of people to go out with. We went out with like 15 people to a rooftop bar in St. Louis right next to the stadium. 360 is what it's called. And yeah, it was a really good time. We hung out in like this giant hostel that looked so St. Louis-y. It was kind of like a warehouse that had been converted into like, you know, a living space with really high ceilings and everything. So it was a really cool place to chill and hang out. I mean, I'm just really impressed with the whole crew that's here and everybody who's been showing up. Today, we're going to be doing this evening the workshop from 6 to 8 p.m. And so I got a bunch of friends from back home coming out, and it's going to be a good time to teach people about Hex. You know, some people are in it, like I've onboarded people and they still don't know what it is. So.
Wow.
You need to do a better job at onboarding then.
Right.
Come on now.
You know what it is. That's the best onboarding.
Well, I guess that's
I disagree.
I don't know. It's kind of hard.
I onboarded everybody who can understand it, and I started onboarding people who can't. So, you know, some people they don't have time for, or they don't have an interest.
That's true.
In economics or anything. So.
Hex can
you
buy
have to get them in, and then they get rich, and then they go to a Hex meetup, and they're like, "Holy shit, these people are awesome!" You know, like that's going to be their best selling point. Not like
introducing the community.
You know,
introducing the community is definitely a key component as far as the onboarding goes, for sure.
Yeah, and in person, dude, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for the road trip to get out here and start going to a couple of them. Like, it looks so much fun.
Yeah. I've only been here for like 24 hours and it's been awesome. Like the whole crew set up this huge studio. I gotta show you guys this studio that they're traveling with.
Oh, it's super nice. They have a ton of equipment.
Yeah.
They're able to fit all of that in those 3 vehicles. Like that's nuts. And then one of them's the R8. So like you know that doesn't have much space.
No.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, very professional setup.
Yeah, they've got a whole thing. When it's set up, it's like there's lighting, there's everything you could ever think of. Like you want to go into the middle of a cornfield and have an awesome stream like 4K.
You do it.
Fucking do it for you.
Yeah.
Set up a force field now, guys.
Yeah. No, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the workshop
stuff. It looks pretty legit. So
are they doing live streams of their workshops or no? They should if they aren't. I don't think I've seen any.
Nah, me either.
Yeah, I think we could start doing that.
Yeah, they should consider that. I think that'd be really cool. And then we can if people that obviously aren't in the area, we can direct new people to just watch the live stream of it. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
And the thing I specialize in is just being like, I always have my backpack with me wherever I go when I'm on Hex business or on like a Hex expedition. So if somebody wants to stream, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Boom. 2 minutes later, we're streaming. Like there's no like 3 hours of setting up a whole thing. I just go.
You're just ready.
I've got this big duffel backpack that's like the size of a suitcase that's just like ready to go. It's got enough stuff in there to set up a stream just about anywhere. As long as you got internet.
a world like that. That's crazy.
I've been streaming through my phone. Like I'm on my phone's signal right now. So
it's really all you need these days. These phones are so incredible. Like I finally upgraded my phone, and it's just like I've been blown away with like the pictures and the video quality and the service, like everything. Like I mean, they really are. I mean, they are mini computers, but like as far as streaming and doing all that stuff through them, it's gotten so much better over the past year or two.
Damn, that, huh? Crazy.
Really good.
I don't really use phones like that. I just use them as phones. I know, very boring of me.
Yeah, I didn't either until like I upgraded. I was like, oh, okay, this is like next level stuff now.
Yeah, like it's kind of forcing you to.
Yeah, and like I mean, I'm like a master photographer now. Over the like places I got, I'm like taking the pictures. Like this camera's making my pictures look way better than what they are. I was like, I feel like I got like a PhD in photography now with what I'm taking just via my camera. I was like, this isn't even fair.
That's hilarious, bro. That's good.
That's so true.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible what they can do now.
That's funny. Good stuff though, man. I honestly don't know, so yeah.
Upgrade, do it, change your life.
I'm trying to Google and the iPhone myself. So.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's you have to put a lot of effort into it for sure.
Yeah, it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, much harder to disconnect than connect these days.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Ironic enough. Yeah, the irony's not lost on me at all.
Yeah, I think I'll have to have like a phone for like regular stuff, you know, like normal people stuff, and then like my own real phone and shit.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna be forced to do.
I was talking to Wave about it, and he got a new phone, and like he didn't want to like hook anything up to the new phone because you know it's like a virgin phone. Like, right. Nope, don't want to connect, don't want to sync anything up to this. Just like keep it completely isolated from the world. Yeah.
It's a thing. It's funny, right? I mean, the world, bro, it's changed. I mean, it's funny because now the best security is analog.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes back to like our ships and stuff too, right? Like, so I was on a carrier and I was on the Nimitz class carriers, and believe it or not, a lot of the systems are still analog on those, unless I mean, there's analog and electronic, obviously digital, but like it's a hybrid of the two. But a lot of the redundancy and stuff, a lot of it's analog still. And it's less susceptible to breaking, to EMPs, to all the disadvantages that just purely digital is prone to. And we're seeing it now with like the new Ford class carriers, which they pretty much tried to automate and go 100% digital on all the systems, all the redundancy features. And the crew was supposed to go. So on a carrier, it's about almost 5,000 people when it's fully loaded. The crew is supposed to go down to like 2,500 to 3,000. So significant drop off in the crew. But at the same time, they've had just numerous issues with just failures, and no one can actually fix the digital systems when they go down. And God forbid, you're more susceptible to like EMP attacks and just everything. Like like analog still has its place when it comes to security, redundancy, and stuff where you would think moving forward in technology, you would want all digital. You want the new latest and greatest electronic equipment. But like you even see it with cars, like all these the electrical harness and all these computers, like that's your failure point now, where you go back and you get like an old car like Maddie's, and it's 40 years old, but everything's mechanical. Everything, as long as it's kept in proper condition, will run to the end of time, essentially.
Yeah, agree. Usually how it works.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to maintain equipment. That's a funny
No, it's not. It's not.
It's just about being diligent about not letting stuff get out of hand.
Right.
So.
Well, the stainless steel, it disintegrates in salt. So I don't know what I'm going to do when the tour goes to New York in the middle of the winter.
Ooh, you might want to skip that one.
Yeah, you might want to skip that one.
Might want to come down south with us, Maddie.
Yeah, you might want to detour in the meanwhile.
Come down a little bit.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I mean,
man, when they salt those roads,
Southwest,
it gets fugly.
That's why, like, I don't get any vehicles that have been up north. Like most of them, like unless they're really taken care of, their bottoms are all rusted out.
Yeah,
like everything's destroyed.
Yep, my car's like that.
Yep.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Even if you try to properly wash it and clean it off, it's impossible.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like, there's nothing that can really guard against that, in my knowledge.
Yeah. So,
So
skip that, Maddie.
yeah,
Well, I think they can do some sort of undercoding under there, but like, is it worth it at the end of the day?
yeah, I don't know. I'd just say nah.
How does the Cybertruck fix it?
Cybertruck.
I don't know.
It's
They
made out
don't
of
they don't
stainless
exist
steel
yet.
too, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
They haven't figured it out yet. There's got to be somebody in the Hex community who can either tell me you can't do anything or here's the secret.
I wonder. So I know you can do like a ceramic coating to protect your paint job. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if it adheres the same to stainless steel or not. It's just such a different material. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Uh-oh, look who's here.
Who you got? One of the
blinging
Z Germans.
out.
Hey, I already know by the necklace.
Yeah, I already know.
What's up, Patrick?
What up, Patrick?
Hey, Motley is here. Where's only
The
What's up,
microphone's
bud?
right here.
Yeah, I
What's going on,
can.
brother?
Yeah, we can hear him fine.
But hello, nice to see you.
Yo, what's going on,
Brother?
Patrick? How are
How's
you?
it going, man?
He can't hear you yet. Let me fix something.
Oh yeah, that's right. God, I really hate that Patrick guy. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Good. I really like that Patrick guy. What's up, man?
Everything all right. Looking forward to the workshop today in St. Louis. Just came by here to Maddie's house. Maybe somebody wants to have breakfast, but as it looks like Maddie still wants to stream another 4 hours or something. So maybe I just
what
go
else is
and
new?
pick something up to breakfast for him.
Right.
Bring it
Pat-
to the stream.
Bring it to the
Patrick.
stream, yo.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. We were just talking about it a little while ago. Do you guys not live stream your workshops?
No,
By
we don't
chance?
live stream them.
What is there a reason for that, or is that maybe a possibility to do so in the future? I was just talking about it would be really cool if you guys live stream for people that obviously aren't able to attend in person, that we can direct some like newcomers and stuff just straight to your seminar and just have like
I mean,
live stream.
the thing is that it's two reasons for that. The first reason is that we are creating new smart wallets, so new people are writing down seed phrases. That's the first reason why I don't want to film everything. And the second reason is that I would need the permission of each and everybody who is at the workshop as well. And there was something else. The searching is already like a little bit more solved because now STAKER.APP is coming out with the version 2. And before that, we had like a single promo code. Now we have individual promo codes, but that was also a reason because one of the slides shows like the promo code of the wallet creation, and this shouldn't be online.
Could it be something as simple as just focusing the camera on like you and A-Bit, just up you guys on stage and the PowerPoint and everything?
I'm going to talk him into it, okay? We're not there yet.
Okay, I'll let Maddie handle it, baby.
But because
I think
Maddie is on the tour as well. He is the live stream expert.
There you
so
go.
He will figure that out for
Yeah,
us.
I think there's some workarounds. I think it would just be cool for, a lot of people that can't make it locally for whatever reason, and then we could direct new Hexkins or people that just want to be onboarded. Just it'd be cool to just sync them up with like a live stream of you guys.
I agree. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I would looking forward that those people still come as well and take
Yeah.
part of the
Well,
raffle.
if they physically can't come, Patrick, if they're like across the states or out of the country or anything.
We are driving across the states.
I know you are. They'll come physically when you get to them, I'm sure. But in the meantime.
When are we meeting you actually, Motley?
That's a good question. The problem is I've been flying out of the country a lot when you guys are in. So
I know you're like.
I'm going to Portugal here very soon, and then some Caribbean islands. But once I get back from that, I should be back in the States for a while. So I'll probably pull a Maddie, and wherever you guys are at that point, I'll fly out and go with you guys on a couple of them, and then maybe when you got. I've been really bad because I've been meaning to reach out to Rainmaker, but I've just been so busy. When you guys get to like DC and Florida, kind of my home areas, I'll help you guys set up with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
And these guys, they're setting up conference centers everywhere that they go. So all you have to do is show up and like
bring people.
bring people.
Yeah, bring
so
bodies.
it's really like I thought at first that me being a leader in St. Louis would be me trying to find a venue, which that's a lot of work. This has all already been streamlined. And so that's another exciting thing that I've learned about the tour is how well it's organized.
Oh yeah, it's great. You can tell right away that they have a system down and everything between their setup and the actual onboarding and the meetings and everything. Like it's a well-oiled machine. It's pretty cool to watch you guys do that. But yeah, I can definitely, when you get to DC and Florida, I can definitely bring you a lot of bodies. So just what do you know? Do you off the top of your head, do you know the dates for those areas? I know Florida probably has a couple.
We arrive a little bit before Christmas and are there over New Year. And before Miami, there is Orlando. Before that, there is Charlotte. And before that is Washington, D.C. So like Washington, D.C. should be starting from the 7th of December. And was Washington.
I can bring you a ton of people. I can bring a lot to D.C. and Orlando for sure.
And then is Charlotte, Atlanta.
Can you share my screen, Wells?
If he's there. Okay.
Yeah, so New York with the HEX birthday party, then Philadelphia, Lancaster, Washington, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, and then Miami with Christmas and over New Year.
Yeah, I might. I'll be probably back in Florida during DC trip, but I'll definitely fly back up for it. Cool.
So these are tentative dates. They're not a final thing until we get much closer. That's what it says down here. Yep. Subject to change, just because, of course, the coordination and everything requires.
But I guess
these guys being able to adjust
until the end of this year. It should be fixed. So that looks really good. So already a lot of people reached out and so on. The only thing where I still don't know 100% if we don't drive any way more north is from Tampa to New Orleans. There would be like a possibility if somebody is in those southern states as well to reach out to us. So we could come by there as well. Because like from Tampa to New Orleans, there's like a huge distance. So there would be some time still. If somebody lives like in this region.
Damn, I wish
southern states on the way back to the West Coast.
I wish I could come up for the Johnny Chaos and the Chicago one because I know it's gonna be Johnny Chaos and coffee and everyone up there.
Chicago will be cool, yeah. So that's next Tuesday. We meet with Johnny first. Then on Wednesday we have a meetup in our Airbnb in Chicago. On Thursday we are going to watch a basketball game. Friday is the workshop, and then Saturday also Johnny has something a Halloween special for us.
Oh, nice! That's gonna be awesome.
But only like for the crew. So this is without a meetup or a workshop. And then on Sunday we go on to Indianapolis.
God, you guys must be having a blast. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a blast, and it's like different types of fun too, right? Because you get really excited to be around Hexicans who are OGs. You get excited to be. I haven't gone to these presentations yet, but I imagine, because I know I'm bringing my people there, and I know the excitement that's going to be felt, driving up in the DeLorean, right? This whole like Hex car gang thing that's going on, like all these supercars, everything that's been wrapped. So exciting.
I'll have to rent something exotic for when you guys get closer to me.
Yeah.
Rent something fun and then return it. Keep my Hex.
That's right.
I saw that Das Baum said, I will join you with my Hex mobile. I'm looking forward to that, actually.
Nice.
I would like that Das Baum comes to us.
Yeah,
and we make live streams with Hex audit analysis,
That's right.
During we drive the cars and so on.
Ash wants to know what basketball game's playing. Who's playing?
Oh, I'm so bad at it, but it is the Chicago Bulls. No, they're
Bulls
versus. Yeah. I have no idea. It's next week's Thursday, so.
Okay. Yo, we're going to a Bulls game next week. That's right. It's gonna be sick.
So just look it up at their calendar. They are playing at home next Thursday. I have no idea.
You guys will have a lot of fun, for sure. Let's see. When Lambo. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I wish I wasn't. If I wasn't going out of the country, I'd definitely go up to the Chicago one with you guys for sure. You guys are gonna have fun though.
It's the New York Knicks.
New York. Cool.
Is Wales into sports?
I don't know if Wells is there. I think he might be.
Oh,
busy.
snap. I've been muted this whole time. Yo, I've been saying a whole bunch of stuff to myself.
Yeah, bro, he's just talking over you, and
Okay, like, why is everybody just talking over me? What's going on?
these disrespectful motherfuckers.
Oh, snap. No wonder you guys are like, is he still there? Okay.
Just let you know your place real quick.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Just talk over the host the whole time.
Yes.
God.
Oh, man. But yeah, I'm actually gonna make a few stops myself over here in the northeast area. Whatever. I'm taking a few dates.
Come south, bro. Come to where it's warmer down.
I'm thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about it. We'll see.
Do you some good.
First north to Kareem and then together on the way south, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Boston. I'm gonna go to Lancaster too.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll come hit you guys up in Boston. Probably I can probably do Boston.
Yeah, definitely come out, bro. We're gonna be having a blast over there. I already locked the dates in from work, so I'm already good to go.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. You're still working, Wales?
Yeah, brother. I got in day 3:30. 3:30. Not day
still
one.
got some more grinding.
Yeah, I still got some more time to put in.
Yep.
So I'm almost there, though. I'm almost there. As soon as I think when post launches, that's gonna change a lot of people. So.
Well, that's a good point too. Is like just in the fact that people that have gone in later, and everyone's like, oh, why not Moon? Why aren't we at like $100, $200, right? Like it's just a thing. Like Wales said, like you just have to put in your time. Like it's not a get quick or get rich quick scheme. It's you have to delay gratification. That's what the mechanisms of Hex teach you. Like you have to earn your rewards.
Correct. And the funny thing is that the rewards you get are greater than what you expected in the first place every time. I mean, I thought my small stakes were going to be pointless, but now I know they're not going to be pointless, and I'm going to be able to do something with them.
Yep,
and that's important.
I experienced that. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was a waste. I was just like, why did I do this? And now it's just like, oh my god, like even a single T-share. I was thinking it wrong, right? I was thinking of the number of picks, and that's changed over time. But I needed to be looking at how many T-shares I had staked out. How much was that how many T-shares were in that stake, or was it even just one T-share? Like that's massive. 5, 10, 15 years out down the road.
It is, bro. It's huge. Yeah. It's very huge.
Yeah, your unit bias like shifts, right? When you go through all that, I've felt the same way.
So, all right, guys, I guess I will really go ahead and search some breakfast.
Somebody's hungry.
I went to the grocery store, man.
I got very good.
I got all the food, and you took me. Thank you for that. I'm set. Healthy food.
All right, then change your audio back to your earbuds.
All right.
Thanks for having me on the stream. Motley, Wales, have a good one, and I'm looking forward to see you guys.
Yeah, see you soon, brother. Patrick. Can't wait.
See you soon, man.
Bye-bye.
Look forward to it.
Later.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess we can wrap it up, man. Unless you guys want to talk about some other stuff. It's already going on 3 hours.
No, I'm about ready to go. I have real world stuff to do, and I got to hop back on the Cabana's show here shortly. So
I got to run in beforehand myself.
I know. I got to work out. I got to get some other stuff organized before I go on this trip. So,
let's do it.
Duty
it's been a pleasure, guys. It's been a pleasure, Maddie.
Yep.
Always a blast, Motley. I want to get in touch with you later at some point too.
Are you coming on Cabana stream?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk in the green room after that. Hopefully, it doesn't go too long.
Yeah, all right, bro. We'll be in touch.
All right, guys.
All right, later, guys. I'm about to run this little outro. Peace.
Outro.
The information displayed in this broadcast is known to cause increased amounts of FOMO. Wells only and his guests are not responsible for any losses you may accrue from having weak hands. Where the haters at? Y'all bitches still ain't showed up. And now, right, we got Hex. Flawless uptime. People thought this was a joke. Now they're mad at the chart. It's lullaby music, really, right? It's hard to believe that something like this exists. I get it, but you just gotta come to terms with reality. It just exists. Nothing we can do about it. Buy a steak and chill, baby. Shout out to Marketable Thoughts. You can't get this kind of shit for free anywhere else. And it's very important to understand that. And we're handing it out. People thought this was a joke. Now they're mad at the chart. So much luck, once again, because the facts don't give a fuck.